I mean, I
in the
suspect that
early
there's
night.
got to be something going on, right? Quiet on set. I assume this is the HBO Max thing. Dan Schneider. So, as far as Dan Schneider goes, like it's basically, I don't even know if we can call it a secret, right? Because I don't think it's like a secret at all. It's just something that like everyone knew and has openly talked about. I know we say open secret, but like, is it a secret? I feel like it wasn't even an open secret. I feel like it was just a thing that happened that people just knew about, but nobody really did anything. Like even with Harvey Weinstein, there's like rumors and people kind of know and whatever, and they just like look the other way. Well, with this one, it's like I don't think the average person knew Harvey Weinstein was a rapist. But like if you ask the average person, I'm pretty sure like Dan Schneider loving child's feet is like a very common, is like a thing that a lot of people know. My point is this. There was not YouTube videos and YouTube investigations about Harvey Weinstein before the court cases, before Me Too. But there certainly were a shit ton of YouTube videos and YouTube investigations about Dan Schneider, which to me implies that like people did know, like normies did know, and yet nobody fucking did anything. I mean, yeah, look at this. Blame It on George made a video fucking 8 years ago. I mean, 6 years ago with 7.7 million views. Like, this is not a secret. But let's do a little bit of a deeper dive into it, I think.
90s. Nickelodeon was kid everything. And you better hope that your house had cable.
Wasn't there to educate you. We were there to have fun, to get slimed, to be entertained.
And this is when Dan Schneider arrives, Nickelodeon's golden boy. He created these shows that were hugely successful for them.
No one had ever really done sketch comedy starring kids for kids.
He launched the careers of child actors who became major stars.
For 20 years, he shaped children's entertainment and culture.
Thank you for being here.
But that marked one of the darkest chapters. Working for Dan was like being in an abusive relationship.
Dan's treatment of people on his shows was an open secret.
So my lawyer filed complaints, gender discrimination, hostile work environment, harassment, and it was so devastating.
How safe can any kids be in that environment? There would be even bigger problems down the line with actual pedophiles on set.
These are 3 predators who worked at Nickelodeon, all in a short amount of time.
Wait, guys, we're ready for you.
It was a toxic environment. It made me trust people less.
We were there for so many hours. You get comfortable with people until you're not.
I had no idea what I was saving my son from. It was a house of horrors.
They find this enormous trove of child pornography.
The officer said we found Ziploc bags, each one with a girl's name on it.
11 charges of child sexual abuse related to a child actor.
It made me wonder who was being hurt.
I've been waiting 17 years for today.
It wasn't dealing with anybody on the shows or anything, right?
It was a child actor.
On one of our shows.
Yes.
Have you ever told your story publicly before?
So yeah, this was on Max.
Back with our GM.
We watching Kick again tonight, big dog, basically. But this is like the professional version of it.
A cover story, a new documentary is shining a light on what was going on behind the scenes at Nickelodeon, home to some of the most popular children's shows in the 90s and early 2000s. Eva Pilgrim sat down with two of the stars. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, y'all. Watching back some of these scenes and sketches now as an adult, it hits you immediately how inappropriate some of this content was. So much so we can't even air some of them in our story this morning for the children on these sets. They tell us many of these jokes went over their heads, but the adult behavior was all around them.
Wait, what the fuck? This guy literally a day ago got Dan Schneider on and interviewed him? What the fuck?
For children of the 90s and early 2000s, Nickelodeon was home to some of the most popular shows of the era, from the sketch comedy hit All That to The Amanda Show. But in the new investigation Discovery docuseries Quiet on the Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV, some of the former child stars behind those shows say they were subjected to inappropriate work environments. One star even claiming he was sexually abused.
If we don't get all these people out of here in less than 2 hours, our lives are over.
Drake Bell from the show Drake and Josh revealing for the first time publicly that he is the John Doe victim in the 2003 child sexual abuse case against his dialogue coach, Brian Peck. Bell claims that Peck purposely isolated him from his father, who was also his man.
I was believing it because he's been in this business for so long and he must know more than us.
Peck was convicted in 2004, sentenced to 16 months in prison, and is now a registered sex offender. Bell says that abuse put him on a path of self-destruction, including 2 DUIs and a 2021 child endangerment conviction. Nickelodeon saying in a statement, "We are dismayed and saddened to learn of the trauma he has endured, and we commend and support the strength required to come forward."
I can't even describe the feeling to know that there was a monster among us.
Giovanni Samuels and Brian Hearn starred in All That in 2001 and say Peck worked closely with the child actors.
When you saw who the victim was,
it broke my heart. I cried.
That guy that abused him went to work on at the Disney Channel after 60 months in prison? What?
We weren't close with Drake, but we were around him. He was a legend. And so to find out that he was being harmed,
brutally harmed
in a terrible way, it infuriated me.
Hearn and Samuels also speaking about former writer and executive producer Dan Schneider, who Nickelodeon parted ways with in 2018 after complaints he created a hostile work environment.
What was it like working for Dan Schneider?
Dan...
You're asking the two black children on a Nickelodeon set where
we were overlooked.
The actors were calling sketches written by Schneider's team like on-air dare.
Yeah. Those were torture moments for all of us.
Hearn's dare had him covered in peanut butter and then licked by dogs.
My on-air dare, I was saying, I don't like this. And to see that is...
And to voice it.
And to have voiced it.
I don't like this. And to be ignored because, oh, it's funny.
Yeah. Was it funny?
Who was it funny for?
Right.
It wasn't for me.
Hearn and Samuel say they hope the series sparks an important conversation about the treatment of child actors.
Your childhood is going to be a little tainted after watching it,
yeah.
But I hope that it helps you protect the next group of kids that comes up.
Now, about the hostile workplace allegations, Nickelodeon tells ABC News while it cannot corroborate or negate allegations of behaviors from productions decades ago, it investigates complaints as part of our commitment to fostering a safe and professional workplace environment free of harassment or other kinds of inappropriate conduct. We have adopted numerous safeguards over the years to help ensure we are living up to our own high standards and the expectations of our audience. As for Schneider, a spokesperson tells ABC News his scripts went through multi-layers of executive approval and that, quote, Dan expected and asked a lot from his teams, but he also knows some people did not have a positive experience and he is truly sorry for that. Quiet on the Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV, a 2-night event starts Sunday, March 17th, beginning at 9 p.m. on ID. Robin.
Ooh, that was an eye-opening report, Eva. Thank you for sharing that with us. Well, hey there, G.
Why are they so like jovial and horny about this?
Today my special guest is the executive producer of The Amanda Show, Dan Schneider.
Thank you to Nickelodeon. Thank you to Dan Schneider. Dan, we love you. Thank you so much, dude.
Thank you, Nickelodeon. Thank you, Dan Schneider.
It's hard to put into words what Dan has done for all of us.
I want to thank Nickelodeon and Dan Schneider.
He's the guy behind some of the greatest shows on Nickelodeon. His name is Dan Schneider.
If you watch Dan Schneider's work, it is completely impossible to escape the notion of feet.
Have you ever tried to get your whole big toe in your mouth? Check this out.
There's just feet everywhere.
Tori, please pour ketchup all over your feet.
I still say this is not performing.
This is why I'm in Hollywood.
Yeah, eat your cereal, kids.
Hey, Dan Schneider, look what you've done to me.
Dan Schneider. Boom! He is responsible for the prolific careers of a bunch of people, bunch of shows that we all.
By the way, Brian Peck lied about his felon status at Disney and they didn't do a background check on him due to his previous accolades at Nickelodeon. He got fired after they found out. So Disney didn't willfully ignore his felony conviction? Yeah. I think he only did 2.
Have come to know and love from millennials all the way to
2013 Nickelodeon tweet asking for feet pics. Salmon Cat tomorrow, right on the bottom of your foot. Take a pic and use Salmon Cat Saturday. And we'll retweet it and follow until our fingers get sore. Yeah, I mean, bro, this is in 2022. You know what I mean? Like they reply with this in 2022. It's like not. This is what I mean when I'm saying like it's not a secret, right? I mean, this is from BJ Investigates from May 27, 2022, 2 years ago.
Z and everybody above, below, and in between. If you are alive right now, you probably are familiar with something that Dan Schneider has created. He's responsible for the careers of Amanda Bynes, Josh Peck, Jamie Lynn Spears, Miranda Cosgrove, Jeanette McCurdy, and even Ariana Grande. Many more, but that's just to name a few. There were some seriously frightening and worrisome things going on at Nickelodeon Studios during that heyday with his company Schneider's Bakery. It seems as though Nickelodeon and everyone involved seem to try to sweep under the rug a lot of strange and worrisome behaviors that we're going to get into today. Now, Nickelodeon and Dan Schneider have been exposed a million times over by many people on YouTube.
I have a new video for you guys because it's time to talk about this monster, Dan Schneider.
Could they have prevented this? And if so, why didn't they?
If you don't understand why the giant foot plays such a big part in this, you will in a minute.
Yeah, bro, if Illuminati made a video about it, that's how you know that shit was like so mainstream. You know what I mean? If Illuminati made a video about it, that means someone else made a video about it. Someone else's made a video about it. It's not like she fucking came up with that on her own, you know?
Hidden behind that orange foot is some disgusting, deplorable things.
You have a foot fetish, no judgment here, that's all you. But it's different when you put that foot fetish
in a children's TV show. Now that's when it becomes a problem.
All his colleagues around him seem to be held accountable, but he doesn't seem to be held accountable.
And there was another actress called Alexa Nicholas. She went on Instagram Live.
And my mom was like, can you please get Dan? Get Dan here immediately, get the producers here immediately. Someone needs to figure out what has happened to my daughter. So then finally Dan walks in. And Dan has not helped the entire time. And I don't feel comfortable going into details about what I've seen with Dan or like what Dan is.
My mom put me in acting like that wasn't my choice. I was 6.
Bro, one time Illuminati made a video you watched on stream and Chowder tried telling you about the shit she did and you called it drama and dismissed it. Yeah, because at the time it was fucking drama, dumbass. The chatter was like talking about some other shit, like yelling at like fucking Legal Eagle or something. Dude, imagine fucking coming in here. Yeah, that chatter was on some dumb shit. Brian Peck was pen pals with John Wayne Gacy and had a painting made by him? Wait, what the fuck? I'm just telling you what I remember. No hate, sorry. Okay, well.
I had to support my family, so it wasn't like I was, came out of the womb like I'm tap dancing and like ready to go or something. It's the thing that I feel the most shame of in my entire life. I do not like any of the acting work that I have ever, like any of the projects that I've been a part of as an actor. And even talking about it, honestly, my heart starts to race and like I feel like I almost could cry.
So now, according to a website called Looper.com, for years, prolific producer Dan Schneider occupied a prominent place in the world of children's television, as we've just discussed. Throughout the late 90s and early 2000s, Dan and his Schneider Bakery banner oversaw numerous hit shows on Nickelodeon, including All That, Kenan and Kel, Drake and Josh, and iCarly. At the height of Dan's fame,
bro, this is one of those moments where, like, me growing up in Turkey, I didn't see any of this shit. Like, we didn't have or maybe they did have it on television, but I never saw any of this shit. These are the parts of the, oh God, this photo is so fucking creepy. Like, I saw bits and pieces of Kenan and Kel, but that's pretty much it. Like,
he was likened to fellow TV titan Norman Lear by the New York Times, a comparison that should indicate just how respected he was at that point in time.
I don't like Dan.
So now let's get into some of the weird stuff that this man is responsible for doing. Like, first of all, we cannot ignore the feet.
I think they had Dijitürk. I think Dijitürk had Nickelodeon or Disney Channel. Did they have Disney Channel? Türkler. D-Smart ve Dijitürk'te vardı Nickelodeon ve Josh için izliyordum sürekli. I think, oh, the other one is Drake and Josh. I have seen some Drake and Josh as well. But I don't remember iCarly. Maybe I was too old for it. I don't know.
Huh? So basically what happened is a few of us started getting a little older, and we would revisit some of Dan Schneider's shows, like on Nick at Night or just reruns or whatever. And we started thinking, like, this very familiar feeling across all of us, like, what the fuck were we watching?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
iCarly was my demographic. I'm 22 years old. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Çeviri ve seslendirmelerin aldığı zamandan bize bir gen geride geliyordu. Yeah, there's the other part. We have translation, dubs, and also licensing rights that made it so that I also watched it late anyway. I probably watched Drake and Josh like after you guys watched it as well. So by that point, I was like not as interested in those shows, I think. Yeah, we did. We have the Disney Channel, and we have yeah, see? It launched on 2009, April 2007. Chat. I left the country in 2009. You know that, right? Like, you're literally talking about shows that were in my life, like, or channels that were in my life for 2 years by the time I was already in high school and about to leave the country. So this type of show came an entire, yeah, I think this whole type of show showed up in the generation after yours. No. All of the shows, I think a lot of these shows were not released in Turkey at the same time. I think that a lot of these shows came late to Turkey as well, because obviously, as you can see here, 2007 is when we got the Disney Channel and shit. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. Look, Turkey took a fat L on that front, but I guess it turned into a W, as I'm recognizing now. Just like the Turks don't see ads at the top of the hour, so that's a big W for them. Whereas you do see ads at the top of the hour, you know, because you're in America. So you can, of course, avoid seeing those ads at the top of the hour. By subscribing for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime, by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you will get one free Prime subscription a month. But yeah, here is Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon was on Turkish television before Disney Channel was. But it also had like on and off. And the IPs that they show on Nickelodeon were different, I think, than IPs that they show now. Or, I mean, the IPs that they were showing at the same time frame in America. Yeah. Nickelodeon. That's funny. All right. Let's watch this shit.
Yes!
After this, we massage my feet.
No, gross. Get it between the toes.
It was weird.
She's a star, so she gets a big, she gets a big spitball shooter thing. I want, hey. No, hey, wait, take a close up of this. Can you get a close up of this one?
No. You go, boy.
Amanda, demonstrate. Spitball or 5,000.
You see there, the toilet paper and you get a gallon of fresh spit, and then you spit in your nose, the little target in this thing.
What do you think of that explanation?
Oh, it was very explanatory.
Specifically the feet. It is absolutely impossible to escape the concept and image of children's feet.
Would you smell my foot and tell me what you think?
I dare you to spend one day saying yes.
Yeah, I'll smell your foot.
Thank you.
It's just feet everywhere, feet all around.
I have a weird talent.
What's your talent?
Okay, I'll show you. Can't believe I'm doing this.
It even went so far as to permeate.
At least Tarantino does it for art. No, Tarantino at least does it with old people, with adults, and not fucking minors, dude. It's for adults by adults, consenting adults. Children, on the other hand, cannot consent. Bro, why defend the feet stuff? No, I think the feet stuff is gross. But there's a difference between like gross and like, oh my God, that should be illegal. Why is that not illegal? Do you not understand that? Like, I think it's important to parse through that a little bit. Considering that the major factor here is not that like things that are gross should be illegal, but instead, you know, consent. And who has the capability to give consent and who does not. that makes it way, way different.
Permeate onto Nickelodeon's actual logo for some time, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, a big foot. It was just feet everywhere. And at the time as a child, I think I probably just thought it was funny or whatever. But when some of these fans, reporters, journalists started to look back at these shows with a little bit of perspective, they
Yeah, this is a good take. Chatters think I like feet and I like children's feet is the same sentence. Insane, I think.
started to notice that it wasn't just feet being featured on the shows, but Dan Schneider himself, from his public original Twitter account, was soliciting pictures of children's feet from the audience, from Nickelodeon fans on Twitter. It's just weird. What is his weird obsession with children's feet? Like, sure, put it in your shows, that's kind of weird. Force Ariana Grande to have her feet stuck in a thing so you can tickle them or lick them or whatever weird you did on that episode. I don't know. So basically make your own decision up about the feet. To me, I think it's weird. And us over here at BJ Investigates thinks it's weird. As if that's not weird enough, we could end the episode there because it's really weird that the man was asking children for pictures of their naked feet with writing on the bottom of it. It's just very weird, Daniel. It's a really weird thing to do. But then the next thing that they actually did that I think is really strange was Dan would host these recruiting parties for children.
He would have pool parties and invite all the kids over and be like, oh, we'll take care of the kids. No adults need to come over. So he was having pool parties with these kids that were on the shows without any kind of adult supervision going on. One of my friends that used to work on a couple of the shows they did, I mean, this goes back to the mid-early 90s. And
he has a pool that is the shape of a foot.
He would spend extremely large amounts.
Oh, the foot pool is fake? I got fake news.
Time.
Get in the foot pool. Bryan Singer did this as well. I don't get why people are into feet. That's weird. I think it's weird too. I don't understand it, but feet are a comedy staple in most kids' entertainment. Weirdly enough, there's this notion that feet are funny to kids. When Dan decided to make this his nom de plume. Oh, it is a real foot pool is a real pool. It's just not his pool. Very weird that such a thing exists. I don't understand why. I don't know how true it is, but if I'm wrong, it's because the brain, the nerves, or whatever, are the closest the same ones to your genitalia. That's what I've heard, at least. I thought that people liked feet because, like, the Freudian analysis is that you have like your first sexual awakening when you see like a woman put her shoe on or something, and then boom, you're cooked. The goon theory, yeah. Isn't that the same as finding hands attractive? Dude, hands, for the most part, I think is something that women are into, whereas feet is mostly like men. So that's why one is like seen as like an odd thing, but not even that odd. The other is like a gross pervert fetish. Why? Because when men are into shit, we take it to the next level, dog. We go above and we go beyond. Okay? The hand thing, like, yeah, some women are into hands. I don't really understand it. But like, I've never heard somebody get grossed out by like a hand fetish. Or even someone referred to hands as a fetish. Partially because women are not as gross as men on average about their sexual desires. Freud is a notorious fraud. He used psychology to justify his fetishes. Ever heard of a foot job? Yes, I have, unfortunately. I don't understand it. Like it's just not a thing that you can, like, I don't understand how you can get a nut off that way. I genuinely don't get it. Hands make so much more sense because girls that touch by hands, that's just human contact. Feet, on the other hand, don't have any sexual component to me. Hands are used in sex, feet is not. Yeah, except unless you're a foot fetishist, in which case feet are very much used in sex. They like using feet in sex.
Along with the kids in their dressing rooms, without any adult supervision in there either. He was just he's just a sick dude, and people have known about this in the industry for a long time. This isn't anything that's new to people within there, and it's not anything new to Nickelodeon either. I don't know why Nickelodeon continues to put up with this guy.
So in 1997.
What?
I don't know why Nickelodeon continues to put up with this guy.
Chat, is this real? Why is he smelling Michelle Obama? What is happening? Yeah, he would do this pose as a joke. He did it with a lot of people as a trademark meme.
So in 1997, I was discovered in a mall, and eventually I got a manager and an agent. And then as I started growing in my career in 2007.
Bro, Obama is so clout hungry, he sent his wife to get sniffed by Dan Schneider, dude. My man was destined to be a podcaster from the jump. He was like, I'm going to get that Netflix deal no matter what, okay? He was doing Illuminati rituals. Okay, this is the one thing that I do believe. Like the whole like humiliation ritual. Now I believe it. Okay? Now I believe it. Obama, the celebrity president. He wanted to be famous so fucking bad. You know?
And my agent contacted me and my family about possibly getting a good Nickelodeon gig. I personally, at the time, I watched a ton of Nickelodeon and I was very immersed in that lifestyle, so I wanted to pursue it. My mom, and she was my manager at the time, she had some, reservations about it. She didn't really want me being exposed like that, especially because in the audition call listing, they did mention, like, wear something cute, like wear spaghetti straps or a skirt or, whatever. And my mom, when she told me later on that whenever she saw things like that, she thought that it was a little uncomfortable for people to be telling kids what to wear.
How old were you at the time?
I was probably around 15, 14 years old. And I was actually considered older at the time for what they were looking for. So in 2007, my agent called about the Nickelodeon show. It was for Zoe 101, but because that show I think was getting canceled at the time.
It looks like the Spears family is growing again, but this time it's not Britney Spears who's expecting. It's her 16-year-old little sister, Jamie Lynn.
Dude, why are they covering this in the most cheery fashion possible? What the fuck's going on? That's insane. That is, what the fuck? Dude, what was going on in America? What the fuck was going on in America? Oh my God, dude. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of those like overcorrective things that Zoomers have done that I'm totally on board with. The whole like age gap discourse, perfectly valid, dude. Because the inverse of it is so invalid and so wrong. What the fuck? America's celebrating moms. Yeah, woke culture took this away from us. Back in my day, a 16-year-old could be impregnated by an adult, potentially.
Nickelodeon did put out a carefully worded statement saying, quote, "We respect Jamie Lynn's decision to take responsibility in this sensitive and personal situation. Our primary concern right now is for Jamie Lynn's well-being, not our show, Zoe 101.
They were looking just for anything, and then Dan Schneider's next show was iCarly. So they were looking for, extras or possibly like a lead type of role. So, of course, my agent jumped on that opportunity, and we flew out to LA for this audition. And when we got there, it was probably like 200 kids. And then these random agents hand-selected specific kids that they liked or, you know, showed some charisma. And then once about 40 kids were selected, we were then told to take off our shoes and that we were each going to go into a room to show the producer, who is Dan Schneider, the tapes to see who he would want on the show. And of course, you know, we always ask, like, what would you like us to be doing once we're in there? My agent told me, you got to just take off your shoes, just like run around in front of the camera, you know, talk about how much you love being barefoot. And at the time, even, you know, it was like, okay, that's weird, but it didn't think anything of it because I was still young. Then when I saw other kids doing it, like their parents were like, take your shoes off, like we're going in, like this is it, this is your thing. You know, it was all the kids that were wearing like the short shorts, like the, you know, spaghetti strap tank tops, you know, things that were a little more open and less reserved. And then once we got into the last room before my audition happened, my mom kind of looked around and was like, this is wrong. There's just something really wrong about this. And
I've never like investigated it further. I just thought that it's like that Dan Schneider was like really into child's feet. That's all I know from this whole saga.
And at the time, I was really upset because I wanted to do this.
The new cast started with a 2-week comedy boot camp that Schneider held with the help of the team that included the show's dialogue coach, Ryan Peck.
And at the parties, the children would be wearing bathing suits. It would be minimally supervised. And to listen to some children who describe these parties, they would say their parents were not even invited.
Interestingly,
as an Oklahoma boy, what is wrong with LA, Hasan? This is insane, brother. You think they ain't doing pedophilic shit in Oklahoma? What are you, crazy? It's just not being televised, okay? That's the difference. The fuck? Oklahoma, I think, is literally like the intersection of the capital of sex trafficking, by the way. I guess not fully related, but somewhat related, given its geopolitical position in the middle of the country. OKC will say this shit while the events of Tiger King unfold in their backyard.
enough, most of the kids got discovered by the pool. And I believe like it was like Megan Fox and Hillary Duff was another one who got discovered there at the pool.
And the parents were so desperate to have their children be famous for whatever reason. I can't relate. You couldn't have gone to the, I don't know, anywhere where there's clothes. I don't know. So then in 2014, I don't know where this falls in the timeline, but Dan Schneider received a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Kids' Choice Awards.
What's up, Kids' Choice Awards? When I was asked to be here to present the first ever Nickelodeon Lifetime Achievement Award, I was like, no way, it's not gonna happen. Not unless you can figure out a way for me to be in two places at once, and you did it. So my body is here in New York, but my heart is out there in LA with all of you guys, because I wanna help honor a guy who has spent his entire life making kids laugh. His name is Dan Schneider, and he's the guy behind some of the greatest shows.
No, Keenan, don't.
On Nickelodeon. That's why we're honoring him tonight with the special award. So to Dan, I'd like to say thank you. You've made more milk come out of more kids' noses than anybody else. Congratulations.
I'm happy to be here to honor Dan.
We are so happy to be here to honor you, Dan. Yes, you not only changed all of our lives, you changed Kids TV.
You know, it's hard to put into words what Dan has done for all of us.
And all of you out there and all over the world. So we'll just say thank you, Dan.
So it is our great honor to present the first ever Nickelodeon Lifetime Achievement Award to a man who's been making all of us laugh for the past 2 decades.
Put your hands together for the one and only Dan Schneider!
So here come big old Dan Schneider, surrounded by a posse of teeny boppers, all of them hanging all over the man. It's really weird.
So thank you for making my life great and just making every day so freaking fun! Thank you, guys! Kids' Choice Awards 2014!
March 29th, 2018, Nickelodeon and Schneider's Bakery, which is Dan's company, finally part ways. So I guess like allegations had gotten like so bad or whatever, but actually Jake has gotten me an article that I have not read yet. It's by Deadline.com and it's called Nickelodeon Parts Ways with TV series producer Dan Schneider. Exclusive, updated. Nickelodeon has ended its long relationship with one of its most prolific creators, Dan Schneider. Probably for the best considering the feet thing alone. Here's a quote. Following many conversations together about next directions and future opportunities, Nickelodeon and our longtime creative partner Dan Schneider, Schneider's Bakery, have agreed to not extend the current deal. Nickelodeon and Schneider said in a joint statement to Deadline the following. Since several Schneider's Bakery...
Wait, is that Nickelodeon foot thing real? They had a foot logo? Bro, that shit is so nutty. What the fuck?
projects are wrapping up, both sides agreed that this is a natural time for Nickelodeon and Schneider's Bakery to pursue other opportunities and projects. This is kind of weird to me considering like he made his whole career on Nickelodeon. Like, I don't know where he thought he was about to go. I mean, I think everything he ever did was on Nickelodeon, if I'm not mistaken. So it's very strange that it would be natural for him to leave this network whenever he made his career on the network. Maybe it had something to do with something else not maybe natural. Dan and his Schneider's Bakery team have created a string of lasting, groundbreaking hits over the years, including, we've already discussed this, iCarly, Victorious, and the current #1 hit show on Nickelodeon, Henry Danger. The statement continued. We thank Dan and his Schneider's Bakery producers, executives, and social media team for their immeasurable contributions to Nickelodeon, and we wish them the best in their future endeavors. And Dan and Schneider's Bakery are proud of the work they did together with Nickelodeon and will always remain big fans of the network. The decision comes as Nickelodeon has opted to cancel Schneider's latest series, Game Shakers, after 3 seasons. They go on to say, among other things, I hear there had been multiple complaints of abusive behavior against Schneider filed by members of his staff.
I'm suspicious that the existence of a separate entity, Schneider's Bakery, indicates Nickelodeon knew something was up for much longer than they care to admit. No, that's normal, dude. The fuck? Even actors create their own production houses. That should not be your takeaway here. That's like the most normal part of the story.
What's going on back here by the robot? Hold on, let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening.
Oh, come on, bro. You cooked up the... Who fucking banned Biden Derangement Syndrome 44? Why would you ban him? Toxic SJW. That's exactly the type of chatter we want. Please unban Biden Derangement Syndrome. Biden Derangement scene. He can't even fucking write it right. Oh fuck, I modded him. Oh fuck. I unmodded him, I think. Oh, shit. Oops. I modded him and unmodded him. Oh my god, imagine. He just bans everyone.
Oh no! I haven't got my costume on yet. Are we close to bowling? Sorry, caught Jerry in a bad moment there. How much attention does Jeanette need?
I was trying to avoid.
What did the young shrimp say when his mom said he wants charity of his toy?
Try it again, but more cat-like.
Okay.
For years, Schneider had been under a cloud of suspicion over the treatment of some younger stars of his shows. Among the things that have raised eyebrows are his tweeted photos of the toad.
None of this content is new. Dan Schneider is not a kid diddler. You can think of them as creepy all you want, but the rumors aren't true. Wait, what? Dan? Are you an 11-month subscriber? Dan? Dan? Dan, you legally have to say it if you are.
Of his young female stars. So one thing I will tell you right now is people will actually pay money to look at your feet. I did not know that. I did not know that. That was news to me. But I will tell you that that is the truth. So he's just putting it all out there on the internet for free, these children's toes. I mean, just weird how like, because you're a director of a show that people play on, that you feel like you have access over that person's body to just be posting pictures of their parts. That is gross and weird. These are children. And who was protecting these children? Their parents were the ones dropping them off at the damn pool party. They had to see these tweets about these feet. If I saw somebody tweeting soliciting pictures of children's feet and they were working with children, I might ask some questions. But these parents,
I like the chatter's mentality being like, no, you don't understand. Like, he didn't actually fuck the kids. Like, he just, you know, jerked off to their feet pics. So he's actually not a pedophile. Because, like, that's what he's, yeah, he just molested them, like, a little bit. That like, I assume that's the argument that he's trying to make, right? I'm trying to be as charitable as possible. Like, he's like, dude, no matter how hard you try, Dan is not a pedophile. He's an ephebophile. The fuck? Who also did suspiciously hire a bunch of pedophiles. Yeah, technically not even a phebophile, ephetophile.
don't seem to have. I don't know. Maybe they did. I wasn't there. Schneider has been well documented as having temper issues for years. And there's these weird videos too, like you'll see, like he'll come around with like a, you know, remember the video cameras used to carry around, like VHS cameras, whatever. He would come around video recording like the stars on the set. It was almost like they would go rigid, like Ariana Grande, like, hey, what are you doing here?
That was amazing. That was one of the better things I've ever heard.
Hey!
Hi, what's going on here?
You cut out that part.
Why are you sitting on the floor of the set?
Because we are.
They are. Did you just bark?
No. No, I did not.
Must be
Remember when you
set
ghost?
Who barked?
The set of Ghost Christmas Past.
That was really scary. Did you hear that? Yeah.
Like it was very obvious that the kids were uncomfortable.
Most people don't give Dan the benefit of the doubt because he's fat and ugly. What the fuck are you saying, dog? Bro, you have to be baiting, right? Like, what the fuck? Like, what's happening? Are you doing fat and ugly solidarity or some shit? Like, what's happening here? I'm trying to understand the angle here because this is very, very weird. This has to be Dan's alt account, right? I've seen more inappropriate stuff from the guests you've had on your channel. Dude, come on, dude. We can't be doing this. Like the middle of the hour ad break, that's always inappropriate if you're not subscribed. I mean, it's true. It is the middle of the hour. But like, why are you baiting me in the middle of the hour?
being around this creep. So the author says, I hear there was a flare-up last week. This would have been like around March 2018. During a meeting Dan had with Nickelodeon executives where they indicated to him that Game Shakers was not getting renewed for a 4th season. Sources say that Schneider's reaction was, at least in part, due to the fact that Game Shakers was about to wrap production on its 3rd season the following day with a cliffhanger season finale, which would leave fans without any closure. So that's allegedly what he was upset about. The author says, I hear at the meeting, Schneider was also told that with his other Nick comedy, Henry Danger, on hiatus, another show would move into the production space in the Nickelodeon-owned Burbank studios, which has housed Schneider's series exclusively for the past few years. Sources say that Schneider objected to the prospect of having to share the office and production space with the non-Schneider's Bakery show. So there was a little bit of a turf war, but I think they were already like, you have been accused too much and you gotta go. After the ousting, after the departure of Dan Schneider from Nickelodeon, the New York Times seems to have attempted to actually rehabilitate Dan Schneider's reputation. Schneider's blog and YouTube channel from when he was Nickelodeon's star showrunner captured the way he would interact with the teenage actors and young fans of the show. He posted a video of him spooking the iCarly actress Miranda Cosgrove as she walked into a room.
Oh my gosh, that is so mean. But it wasn't that good. I didn't get that scared.
You were kind of scared.
I was a little scared. You get me. You never get me.
I just did.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh, that scared me so.
But some people who worked on Schneider's shows asked for anonymity.
Wait, what the fuck? Okay, but is that actually Dan Schneider's account in 2021? Jamie Lynn Spears got lucky, to be honest. Fuck that whole famous lifestyle. Not true. Zoe 101. In 2021? Wait, who the fuck is this guy? The use of creepy music is very manipulative. Bro, who is this guy? What the fuck? It's like a Chapo fan. Aren't you glad you looked up Emma Emhoff? Ass hair makes your farts quieter. Do you understand single moms can't always shave their whole body for you? A lot of single moms can't always shave. Are you shaming them? Wait, what? Don't bite your painted nails. It will be bad for your health. I'm older than you by a month, but you look 5 years older than me, he said in 2021. Why can't I keep scrolling up? It's fucking annoying. This guy loves him some Dan Schneider, dude. What the fuck? Because Twitch mod view is busted. My man's got like good takes on everything else, it seems. R/atheism turned me away from anti-theism. You can be antheist just without being anti-theist. Amber Frosthead. 4chan and 8chan are literally pedo boards. Good takes overall. Except for this, I'm older than you, but you look 5 years younger than me. He's just a Schneider head. Is that what it is? Is he a Schneider rider? I don't know. It was iCarly that good? Like, what's happening? Was that shit popping? Like, did it really fucking, did it really define a generation or some shit? What bad thing does Miranda Cosgrove? Dan made very good productions like Good Burger. What bad thing does Miranda Cosgrove have to say about Dan? Dude, I don't fucking know. Why are you trying to debate me on this? This is very weird. Like, there were people saying good things about fucking Harvey Weinstein too. Does that make him a good guy? Like, the fuck? Why are you trying to debate? Uh-oh. Kaya? Place. What is this? Is this allowed? All of a sudden? Yeah, don't look at me like that. The average Hasan subscriber experience seems to be that you agree on politics on everything major for years until some really niche, obscure subject comes up. Yeah. And then they become like my diehard villains for some reason. Because it just became internet fact. Dan was a pedo, initiated 4chan, but it's just not true. No, I know. He said people are not giving Dan the benefit of the doubt because he's fat and ugly. I actually don't understand. I feel like just because something was like rumored to be true on 4chan doesn't immediately disqualify it. You know what I mean? Did he subscribe for 11 months, 12 now? I do think that like a lot of the stuff, a lot of the rumors are a collection of statements and like overall weird shit, including like the hiring of multiple people that predated on children. It doesn't make it untrue. It's just a red flag. I know, but you're not just saying it's a red flag. You're saying it's wholeheartedly untrue.
Because they feared that they would be basically retaliated against by him.
She say nice things about me? Because I will tase her if necessary.
Uh-oh.
I have the taser. We haven't had to use it in a long time.
I said lots of nice things.
So I said nice things about you.
Oh.
That's going to get on TV. What? That's going to get on TV.
They said they viewed his chumminess with young actors as awkward and odd for a powerful, middle-aged showrunner. I agree completely. Several recalled that he often spent time during the workday interacting with young fans on.
Dude, chatter about to be like, dude, those are just like fucking not weird. You know what I mean? Who amongst us doesn't want iCarly's and Sam's toe pics, like tweeting about like a 14-year-old's. Bro, one of the rumors was that he impregnated Jamie Spears, objectively untrue as defamation. Okay, but we're not talking about impregnating Jamie Lynn Spears. I don't know who impregnated Jamie Lynn Spears. Like, you're not addressing the not rumor in front of your face. Cancel culture at work again. Here we go again, boys. Can a fella not actually talk about a 14-year-old's feet? Like, I don't understand. Man, woke culture's coming after us, huh, boys? Men really can't do nothing nowadays.
Called that he often spent time during the workday interacting with young fans online. And then after...
Wait, what is this? Guest starring for a debate? First of all, no, I don't want to debate this issue because I definitely don't have enough information on the subject matter that this guy has. My assessment currently is Dan Schneider kind of weird, okay? Very weird. And also, it ranges from like really weird and holy shit, this should be illegal to like, oh, that definitely is illegal. How the fuck did that actually happen? I don't want to fucking talk to a dude. It's like if I know nothing about why the world isn't flat and had to debate a flat earther. You know what I mean? like he definitely has a lot of, he came in hot. He's like, well, what does Miranda Cosgrove have to say about this? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck Miranda has to say about Dan. What do you mean? I clearly have not investigated the matter as deeply as you have, my friend, except it seems like you investigated the matter to like defend Dan a little bit.
Work, he would be texting with child actors about silly matters of teenage internet life. Former crew members recalled that Justice's character had a locker on the set of Victorious, decorated with photos of young men. Alongside...
Hi, my name is Alexa Nicholas. I was in the dock, quiet on set. I just want to say I'm a huge fan and thank you for covering this. It means a lot. I watch you all the time. Dan is fucking awful. Yeah, well, now I'm going to put this guy against the guy who's defending Dan. Eat Predators is going to duke it out 1v1 style with the guy who wants to defend Dan Schneider in the chat. I'm just kidding. Jesus Christ, this shit's crazy. Alexa Nichols is she, her. Sorry.
The words "Dudelicious" and "Who's hot." One of the photos was a headshot of a young Dan Schneider, who's definitely not hot.
And there's lots of random stuff in her locker. I'm constantly staring at these pictures, and I'm just kind of confused by her artwork. Fun fact as well: this is Dan Schneider. This is a younger picture of handsome young Dan.
Schneider said the locker decoration was likely added by someone in the art department and that it was never his goal as a showrunner to be popular or recognized.
She say nice things about me? Because I will tase her.
Now, I know that's bullshit. I know it for a fact, Dan, because I saw your ass in a hot tub with a 12, 14-year-old Amanda Bynes. So if you didn't want to be popular and famous or whatever the bullshit lie you told the New York Times, then you wouldn't have been in that hot tub with a preteen/young teenage girl or anyone else in the hot tub for that matter. As for interacting with fans online, he said that he did so, quote, only in very public ways that were fully transparent to his colleague. Yeah. These creeps tell us out loud what they're doing every damn day. And then when we find them doing it, they go, I did it in front of y'all. Nobody said anything when I was having pool parties for teenagers at my house. Nope, I don't know why Dan has a country accent, but he does. Just because you were a creep in public doesn't mean you weren't being a creep, you creep. Former crew members also said Schneider seemed to imagine himself as the king of Nick on Sunset, the network's former soundstage. He had a private bathroom next to the one that most of the other staff members had to use. 3 former colleagues recalled occasions when staff members pushed him from one room to another in a roller chair so he could keep working en route. It was like Wall-E 1.0. He didn't stand up to walk around other than to chase kids around with his damn camera. Did he have somebody pushing him around for that? He's disgusting. I'm disgusted by him. Over the years, I've grown and matured as a producer and leader, so I guess that means you just don't have to be held responsible or accountable for anything you've ever done. These days, after his 3-year hiatus, Schneider seems set on returning to television and reintroducing his brand of comedy to new audiences. During a 3-hour interview at the Beverly Hills Hotel, he discussed discussed the state of children's television and his plan to bring forward an ambitious and very different pilot that he has written and sold to another network. I'm assuming it's Disney.
Schneider created iCarly, so I know him really well. That's the thing where.
Well, Penguins though, official podcast 64 with Noah Monk.
I was sort of, I mean, if that went on, that's devastating to me because I don't see him in that light, you know. So watching clips on YouTube for that is like crazy. But I mean, the foot fetish is like, okay, bro, come on. Like I never really noticed that when I was 15 on the show, but of course, looking in retrospect, it's like, okay, all right.
All the pieces fell into place.
all the yeah, I just got 2020 and knew what was up.
Did he ever ask you to take your shoes off or anything like that? Anything to do with your fit?
No, but I took my shirt off on TV at 10 years old, so I don't know. Maybe.
But Dan Schneider is still back on the scene. In my opinion, total creep. Total suspicious vibes. The pool parties and the feet pics alone, just too much for me. Coupled with the obvious discomfort and fear that the young actors that we all know about today demonstrated in the presence of Dan Schneider and his video camera, on top of the fact that he no longer has a job, and I know for a fact he's responsible for making hundreds of millions of dollars, if not more, for Nickelodeon. I cannot see any other reason why he was fired other than misconduct. Now, what the misconduct was, I don't know if I'm even allowed to say it on YouTube, but y'all comment below what your opinion is and what your thought is on Dan Schneider, and we will be back very soon with another PJ Investigates.
That's crazy, man. I mean, this is the Dan Schneider scandal of Nickelodeon from 2018. So the new documentary that came out actually features a bunch of new stuff, as far as I understand. New things such as like obviously revealing that Drake Bell was the original, one of the children that got Brian Peck, the voice coach, fired and also put in prison. A very good in-depth video of the actual allegations.
A known associate of Schneider's, Brian Peck, was convicted as a child offender in 2004 after he used his movie industry role to a Nickelodeon star. Peck, who worked as a dialogue coach, was allegedly one of the people who helped Schneider recruit child stars at his camps.
In a 2002 article titled "Groomed to Be All That," it is revealed that Dan Schneider and Brian Peck would host comedy boot camps for Nickelodeon child stars, where they were.
Dan is a scum through and through, but he was fired for labor and union violations. For some reason, Nick was all fine with the kid gross stuff. I mean, they could have just used that as the reasoning to not say that, like, hey, we hired a dude who was like predating on children regularly. Like, they could just use that as a reasoning when they saw that, like, the money well was drying up. Yeah, they're not going to be like, hello, we're Nickelodeon and we're firing our you know, golden pony after 20 years of service for specifically doing weird shit to children. Why are Q people not more invested in this? I think some probably are. What's with this famous media companies being filled to the brim with sex pests? What does Dan say in the interview that you pulled up earlier? Does he defend himself? Yeah, I kind of want to listen to that. Here's what Alexa Nicholas said. Quiet on-set apology. I don't feel any remorse for him. This is all about power and control. The former Nickelodeon actress says after the Dark series called out her old boss's behavior, as if he just one day had a fit, is how he's acting. Like, I'm sorry, it was just this one-time event that people were affected by it. I don't even feel any remorse for him. He's not even crying. I know everyone deals with their own emotions their own way, but I don't feel anything from you, Dan. I don't feel a thing. Embarrassing for you, dude. Stop it. There were two women splitting a salary. I'm going to cut to the chase here. Nicholas continued. You don't feel anything, Dan. You're like every freaking privileged white male I've honestly ever met on set. You don't even know what accountability is. Walking Dead actress also analyzed the way interviewer Boogle, who played Tebow on iCarly, communicated with Schneider using locker room talk. Yeah, this was kind of crazy. Like, so one of the adults on the show actually interviewed Dan Schneider, which I'm going to show you in a second.
Writers, but I can put them in any horrible predicament I choose. Jerry, I'm gonna push me one on this one and say this. Do you have a hold on? Here is Jerry Trainer. Hey, the semi-talented actor who plays. What do you play?
Welcome to the Emmys.
Yeah. What?
Which is a fight to the death, right?
Is it?
This is like the UFC of the Emmys.
Stand right here. And edit out right there. Are we done? All right, I'm sure. Go ahead and talk to Jerry. I'm sure he's going to have some super intelligent things to say. Really, really witty. Go, Jerry.
There's no way that's true. I went to Harvard. Harvard. Not really.
Michelle Obama appearing on iCarly. Oh, here, we were going to watch. Dan Schneider talks about Quiet on Set.
I played Tebow on Nickelodeon's iCarly. That embarrassed that I... Hey, it's Boogie. I played Tebow on Nickelodeon's iCarly. I got a chance to watch the Quiet on Set program, and I reached out to Dan to see if it was something that he'd be willing to discuss. I'm pleased to say that he said yes. Dan, how are you?
This is on Dan's
own... I'm okay. I really appreciate you reaching out and giving me the opportunity to talk to you about what we saw over the last 2 nights.
I'm really glad you're here because I believe this is important.
For sure.
We've got a lot of things to unpack. But before I dive into my list of topics that I'd like to discuss, is there anything you'd like to start off with?
Absolutely. Watching over the past 2 nights was very difficult. Me facing my past behaviors, some of which are embarrassing and that I regret. And I definitely owe some people a pretty strong apology.
Let's talk about the massages.
Okay.
Watching the content yesterday, it was disturbing.
It was wrong. It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today. I'm embarrassed that I did it then. I apologize to anybody that I ever put in that situation. And even additionally, I apologize to the people who were walking around Video Village or wherever they happened, because there were lots of people there who witnessed it who also may have felt uncomfortable.
He's like, there's lots of people that I gave massages to.
So I owe that.
Guys, he's such a noble guy. Dude, come on. You're memeing. You're fucking memeing. You're either memeing or you are literally Dan Schneider. Come on, dude. There's no fucking way, dude. Please tell me this is an elaborate top of the hour ad break debate. There ain't no fucking way, dude. He's just like, but like, no, it's not elaborate because he was writing about Dan Schneider and Jamie Lynn Pierce in like fucking 2021. You know what I mean? Like, friend of the show gone way too far. This is crazy. That's crazy, dude. From 2021, he's like, one day I'm going to fucking cook his ass, dude. I'm going to. Okay, I'll shut up and let Dan speak for himself. Bro, are you Dan? Are you Dan? There ain't no fucking shot, dude. Yo. Ow. Bro, what is happening? This 12-month subscriber. Bro. Yo, what? Yeah, he said, bro, come on. He's an actual good dude. You have to admit. Come on. He's like, come on, man. Give him a shot. Oh my God, dude. What the fuck? Bro really loves iCarly, dude. He's like, come on. That's anyway, here's the 3-minute ad break now, by the way. Okay. Jesus Christ.
them an apology as well.
Yeah. Dan, talk to me about the writer's room. From what I saw, not cool.
No, and I don't mean to cut you off, but if I can cut right to the chase, let me just say, no writer should ever feel uncomfortable in any writer's room, ever, period, the end, no excuses. Most TV writers, comedy writers have been in writers' rooms, and they are aware that a lot of times there are inappropriate jokes made and inappropriate topics come up. But the fact that I participated in that, especially when I was leading the room, it embarrasses me. I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, also, as far as I understand, this dude was like one of the adults on his show. So obviously, one, I don't think Dan, I don't think Dan was into his feet. Seems like he was into children's feet more. And two, he's also kind of, he's not like as responsible, of course, but he's like a little bit culpable too, considering that he was on set and didn't say anything and didn't do anything. So like it's more so him covering his own ass, it seems, than anything else. Like this interview that is also suspiciously posted on Dan Schneider's YouTube page. Do not let the setup fool you.
And I can tell you why it hurts really bad for me. I remember very clearly my early experiences, my first experiences in the entertainment business. I was green, I was scared, I was excited. It meant the world to me that I was getting those opportunities. And I went in and I got lucky because they were great. My first couple of experiences were fantastic. And the fact that I didn't pay that forward to every employee that walked through my door, it hurts my heart because I should have. And I wish I could go back and fix that. In the writer's room.
Dude, wait till Mr. Bonafide fucking turns around and defends Dan Schneider too, because it's like, one, the contrarian position, two, it's it's a great opportunity to do it's a phoebophilia.
There's no doubt that sometimes those jokes went beyond the pale and I said things that went too far or made practical jokes that went too far, and that was wrong. And that was because I was an inexperienced producer. I was immature. Wouldn't happen today, but I'm just really sorry it happened.
Yeah. Now, we know you've had a lot of success over 2 decades. Thousands of people have worked with you, for you.
Okay.
Let's speak directly to the people who did not have a good experience with you.
Okay, I would like to speak to those people because I hate that anybody worked for me.
It's like, you don't understand. I was a young 40-year-old child. Excuse me. A lot has changed in my life. From 40 to 60, I learned a lot.
Didn't have a good time. You know me. You've been on my sets. Look, I've had some employees that have worked for me for 10 years, some more than 20 years, who would work with me again. But not everybody. There's still a significant number that didn't have a great time working for me.
Favorite animal? Platypus, endangered. 91 left in captivity. Okay, dude. Stop. Chat, stop. Come on, bro. Okay, I don't want to scare away Platypus 91 because I do want to hear more from him because I want to investigate his mind, okay? He's got a lot of very interesting takes. So stop. Lamau, that was funny. See, he's a Schneider writer, but also like he's got a good sense of humor, it seems.
So my batting average isn't nearly high enough in that area. And the way they wouldn't get the best of me is that I would let the pressure of doing 40 or even more episodes per year, I would let that pressure get to me, which a good boss should never, ever do.
Was there specific things that you were doing?
Sure. I would snap at people sometimes. Mm-hmm. I would be snarky when I could have given them a nicer answer.
Yeah, bro, this is not about that, man. What's going on here? Bro, talk about the feet, big dog, and the hiring of pedophiles. Hello? It's like, yeah, sometimes I had a bad day. Honestly, sometimes, listen, at the crafts food services table, they had the white cheddar cheeses. And I fucking loved the white cheddar cheeses. So as soon as I would come on set first in the morning, I would just grab all the white cheddar cheeses and I would stuff them in my pants. Okay? And I didn't let anybody else have the white cheddar cheeses. And that's kind of fucked up. It's like, no, that's not the point here. Stop talking about sometimes having an off day. Hello? What are you... Bro, they made the Nickelodeon logo a foot.
I would not give people the time that they needed. I would be in too big a hurry to get on to the next thing I had to do. And watching that show, it made me, there were so many times I wanted to pick up a phone and call some of those people and say, I'm so sorry and let's talk about it. And I wish you'd had a better time and I wish I could have shown you a better experience.
Yeah. Now, you've written hundreds of episodes. Thousands of jokes have been told.
Yeah.
But currently where we are, some people think that some of those jokes are inappropriate for children. What do you think of that?
Wokeness is dead. Have you seen Sydney Sweeney's tits? We're back on the jokes. The jokes are good now, okay? Liberals could not erase with their woke culture the jokes about feet, mostly about feet. I really love feet. Can't stop thinking about it. Specifically, the moment that someone turns 18, I don't care about their feet anymore. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Okay? But the feet stuff beforehand, it's just wokeness could not kill the foot jokes.
All these jokes that you're speaking of, that the show covered over the past 2 nights, every one of those jokes was written for a kid audience because kids thought they were funny and only funny, okay? Now we have some adults looking back at them 20 years later through their lens, and they're looking at them and they're saying, oh, you know, I don't think that's appropriate for a kid show. And I have no problem with that. If that's how anyone feels, let's cut those jokes out of the show, just like I would have done 20 years ago or 25 years ago.
Wow, he's like, dude, what? You want to cut a couple of the jokes out of the show? Like, look at his reaction. Bro, dude, you are bad at acting, okay? Jesus Christ. No disrespect, but like, you are not a good actor, okay? Oh my God. He's like, wow. I mean, you must be the most gracious man I've ever met in my life. That's what his face is saying.
Cut those jokes out of the show, just like I would have done.
What? What? Cut some jokes out of the show? What? Bro. What?
20 years ago or 25 years ago. I cut it. I want my shows to be popular. I want everyone to like. The more people who like the shows, the happier I am.
Yeah.
So if there's anything in a show that needs to be cut because it's upsetting somebody, let's cut it.
So I think it's big for you to say with your work, if it's viewed as that today, you don't have a problem.
Cut it. Cut it.
I mean, that's a solution.
Bro, yeah, this is the Tucker Carlson Vladimir Putin interview for the Vladimir Putin of securing weird feet pics of children, Dan Schneider.
The last thing I want to ever do is put any content in a show that's going to upset my audience and make them want to turn off the TV. Why would I ever want to do that?
That makes sense. I want to give you an opportunity to kind of elaborate on something.
Okay.
The thought process from the series is you had the power to just write a joke, and no matter what, it's going on TV. You just had that type of power. Is that true?
The notion that I had the power to just produce whatever I wanted and have it air is completely false.
Okay.
There were many, many levels of scrutiny. Okay? We had executives in LA. We had executives in New York.
So 2 coasts.
2 coasts.
Okay.
Of
Damn. He's like, what? Not one coast, but coast to coast? That's crazy. Dude, his reactions are taking me out a little bit. He's like, what? You had that level of control? Like, people had that level of control over your content? Maybe they were the ones making the weird jokes, huh? Not you, Dan. You wouldn't do that, right, Dan?
Approval, yes. And by the way, approval at every stage, really.
Okay.
And I'm talking about wardrobe. I'm talking about makeup, sound, sets, dialogue, jokes, everything.
Now, when you say approval, these obviously that's a hierarchy, not your colleagues or people in the room. Okay.
No, not my colleagues. No, these are my bosses. Bosses, and then their bosses, and then their bosses. And they're approving all of this stuff.
Okay.
Okay? And we're also shooting it in front of all sorts of adults and caregivers and the set teacher and
Who are you to tell a black man what he is saying? No, shut the fuck up. Stupid.
The families, everybody's watching it. And if anybody had said anything, hey, we don't like that, that's not appropriate, then it would have been cut out.
Now, I'm gonna push back a little bit because the series painted you in this way that you were just the guy that was doing what he wanted, and people were afraid to confront you about things. So say, just humor me, say that was the case. What would have been the ultimate way to...
Okay, if nobody on the set, if all...
Bro, wow, you really push back hard, man. Yo, ease up on your criticism there. Come on now, Tebow. You're criticizing him a little too hard. Wow, what pushback.
Dozens and dozens of adults that were on the set, if they didn't say anything, if my bosses said, if they insisted, you got to make a change here, you got to cut that, I had to do it. I had no choice.
Got it. Now this next one, it kind of hit close to home. Being a new father, I wouldn't be opposed of...
It's a good question. If you have bosses, how come you were able to get away with that shit? What do you mean, bro? They hired pedophiles. The fuck are you talking about? They don't give a fuck. It was the money machine going brrrr. That's all they heard. Hello? Do you know anything about Hollywood? Is this the first time you are finding out about this industry? Any industry, really, but especially in Hollywood? What the fuck? Yeah, Tebow was an adult on the set, exactly. So he has a lot of interest, in my opinion, to, like, you know, cast away the rumors.
To my child being in the entertainment industry, doesn't matter what age, yeah? Seeing some of those on-air dares, seeing it now from where you are now in your life, what do you think of that?
I think that some of the on-air dares went too far. I think they pushed the envelope too far. Not all of them, not most of them, but some did. Nickelodeon wanted to do their version of Fear Factor. At the time we were shooting All That, so I was tasked with doing these on-air dares with the All That cast. So we get with the writers and we come up with all these ideas, and it's hard to do because we don't have the budget of Fear Factor, and we can't put the kids in dangerous situations like the adults are put in. So it was hard to come up with stuff. But we would come up with all these ideas of dares they could do. We would give them to the network, and they would say, tell us the ones that were okay. Right. Those are the ones we shot. Those are the ones that aired. At the time, I had no indication that any kid ever had a problem with them. But when I was watching the show over the past 2 nights, I now know that there were kids who did have problems with the on-air dares. And it breaks my heart. And I'm so sorry. I am so sorry to any kid who ever had to do a dare or anything that they didn't want to do or weren't comfortable doing. We went out of our way to make sure they were safe and that everything was done properly. But if a kid was scared and didn't want to do it, kids shouldn't have had to do it. Yeah. Period, the end. Right. And if I had known at the time, I would have changed it on the...
Seems like a remorseful and respectful guy. Yeah. It's always cool when you set up a fake interview for yourself to basically act like you're being grilled by a dude who, like, agrees with you and says things like, hold on now, I'm going to push back here. What if hypothetically, I mean, obviously you didn't have the power and I agree with you and you were also awesome in the moments where you did have any kind of control. Thank you so much for making me the taco on a stick guy. That was pretty fire. But like in the moments that you didn't have, like, you know, what if your bosses were the ones who were directing you to do such things?
The spot.
Now, we also saw the series highlight two former writers' viewers, two women, who spoke about a wage discrepancy. Now, I know that you don't divvy out salaries. Talk to me about that part.
Well, you're correct. I have nothing to do with paying writers. I never have. I've never made a writer's deal. And of all the writers I've been in a writer's room with, I never even knew how much most of them were getting paid.
Yeah, but we saw these two women who were writers for you sharing one salary. How does that happen?
It's very simple. There's a common practice in television when hiring writers. If you have a spot for a new writer, sometimes you'll go to two writers and say, hey, if you two new writers for your first job are willing to share a salary, you can both have the job.
Wait, what? Okay. That seems insane and I think illegal. What does he mean? Oh, it's very simple. I did that shit was his answer. I love that his answer to this question was, oh yeah, no, we did that. And it was cool because it's very simple. And also everybody does it. Dude, that's awesome. Dude, here, there are allegations that you have used child labor in your poultry facility. Yeah, so here's a really common thing, right? Children, one, they yearn for the mines and sometimes the poultry facilities, okay? And two, it's really important to teach a child the value of $1 and what it takes to earn $1, which is why I hired children and only paid them $1. It's a very common thing. It's called hiring children. It's simple. Everybody does it. Did you not hear him when he said he was not responsible for that? He said he didn't do that explicitly. Bro, he's the showrunner. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. You believed him when he said that wasn't my responsibility, only to follow it up with, well, we hired two people for the price of one. Like he literally said, no, that wasn't me. I didn't do that. And then immediately, I'm willing to hear evidence of the contrary. Bro, what do you mean? He just said it. His explanation was, I didn't do it, only to follow up immediately with, well, we hired two people for the price of one. I like he said it already. You did hear it. The evidence came from his mouth.
Writers I've been in a writer's room with, I never even knew how much most of them were getting paid.
Yeah, but we saw these two women
who
were writers for you sharing one salary. How does that happen?
It's very simple. There's a common practice in television when hiring writers. If you have a spot for a new writer, sometimes you'll go to two writers and say, hey, if you two new writers for your first job are willing to share a salary, you can both.
I believe Dan. He had nothing to do with him. These programs are not for perverted adults. The foot shit is so annoying. The reason Dan got to where he was because of his childish sense of humor. He understands that. Farts are funny. Slime is entertaining. And feet are funny. Bro, I believe Dan. He had nothing to do with him. Okay, you gotta be. You're Dan, right? You fucking Danimal. Come on. Come on. Oh my God. Are you Danimal or are you just a foot guy? What's happening? Okay, we gotta move on. In my point of view, Dan was cooking. Let Dan speak and he'll destroy the rumors. Dude, I love this chatter so much.
Both have the job. They have the opportunity to say, yes, that sounds good, or no, no thank you. In this case, it was 2 women writers. I've done another show where that teaming was done with 2 male writers, and they split a salary. I did another show where it was a male and a female writer, and they split a salary.
By the way, it's still bad. Like, in all 3 of the circumstances, it's like when people are asking Donald Trump, like, okay, so there's allegations that you didn't you didn't pay contractors after, getting their help in your properties. And he's like, well, you don't understand. Let me tell you, I do that to all the contractors. It's like, hold up, all the contractors? What the fuck? Also, he keeps making it seem like he originally said he's never hired someone and played a role in the hiring process, which I don't believe. Showrunners absolutely have a say in the hiring process. The fuck? It's like Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, being like, yeah, actually, I have no say on what happens on Twitch because it's an Amazon subsidiary. It's like, excuse me? No, you're still the fucking CEO, big dog. What the fuck? You definitely do have say in what goes on inside of Twitch. Like, as the showrunner, he's basically the CEO of the show. It might be under a larger conglomerate, technically. Like, there are Nickelodeon executives, but especially as a showrunner, because this is a creative field too. Okay? Especially as a showrunner, when you get to a certain point in your career, the executives are reliant on you. They'll tell you, like, please make us money, but once you've proven your worth as a money maker, you're done. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Both have the job. They have the opportunity to say, yes, that sounds good, or no, no thank you. In this case, it was 2 women writers. I've done another show.
Stop. These programs are not for mentally ill adults. Kids find feet funny, which is why they put it in the show. I guess nobody's going to notice how much weight Dan has lost since his departure from Nickelodeon. Dude, okay, no, you're Dan. You're actually Dan. Yo, you're either trolling, and this is very, like, elaborate troll, or you're literally Dan. What? I guess next up, he's going to say, I guess nobody noticed how sick his beard looks. Nobody has, not even a single person has actually commented on how dope his beard looks. I think it looks great. And a nice vest too. He's also rocking the Steve Bannon look too, a little bit.
Where that teaming was done with 2 male writers, and they split a salary. I did another show where it was a male and a female writer, and they split a salary. So,
and these are all first-time writers.
All first-time writers looking for their first gig.
Got it. Now in the series, they also highlighted 2 black actors who said that they felt overlooked. Now I want to be clear. I'm never going to speak on anyone else's journey. Yeah, I can talk about my experience, how my experience was with you.
Well, considering you're sitting across from him doing PR for him, I don't think you're going to say you felt overlooked.
What I saw prior to working with you, but again, I don't want to speak on anyone's journey. I saw you be honored for diversity in your work.
Yes, and the reason for that is diversity has always been very important to me in my shows. If you go back to the very first Nickelodeon show I ever made, that's very evident, as it is in the second one, and then the first movie I ever made for Nickelodeon, which starred Kenan and Kel, and every show I did after that had a lead black actor in it. I'm very proud of that. It's very important to me. And not only am I proud that they were in my shows, I'm exceptionally proud of the achievements they've had beyond my shows, and they've gone on to bigger and better things, and that gives me a great sense of pride.
Well, something that really kind of bothered me was...
I like that he basically said, like, I don't want to speak for anybody else, but you did win a lot of awards for diversity. So, okay. Like, cool, man. Thanks. Thanks for that take, dude. That's seems great.
How they depicted your relationship with the cast.
Yeah, it bothered me too.
Yeah, just me being there, I knew the dynamic was trust. I understood that in situations where they may have had turmoil, whether it be with their families, whether it be other castmates, they came to you. Versus how they made you look. With that said, Amanda Bynes was brought up in the series and her emancipation and how you were involved in that. Can you talk to us about it a bit?
Sure. Amanda was between the ages of 16 and 17, and she wanted to get emancipated from her parents, which was a fairly common thing with successful young actors, at least at the time.
Sure.
And she wanted that for herself. So she turned to her team, which included her lawyer, her agent, her manager, her publicist, me, because she included me as part of her team, thought of me that way. We supported her. She tried to get emancipated, and it ended up not working out, and she didn't.
Well, since we're here, let's stay here for a moment. There was also an incident where she had ran away from home, if you would. Can you talk to us a little bit just to clear the air of exactly what happened in that situation?
Yes. One night, it was very late, well after midnight, 1 or 2 in the morning, phone rang, I answered, it was Amanda. She was upset, she was in distress, she had had some conflict with her parents, I think her father, and she called me. I was immediately concerned about her safety.
Dan is an out and about socialist. That chatter might be him. Come on, man. Enough. Stop KEKWing him. You're only gonna fucking make people do this more. God damn it, you're ruining the meme.
I called someone who I knew was fairly nearby. That person was able to go and pick her up. Then I knew she was safe. I felt better. She ended up being taken to the police.
Well, regardless of what some people...
And especially in the Amanda Bynes part.
I was immediately concerned about her safety. I called someone who I knew was fairly nearby. That person was able to go and pick her up. Then I knew she was safe. I felt better. She ended up being taken to the police.
Well, regardless of what some people may think, I think it's only positive that you are there for people when they need you. That said, let's talk about some of the things that have just been swirling forever.
Okay.
You were banned from your set.
Never happened. That is a false rumor.
What happened?
Add it to the list of false rumors.
Talk to me, what happened?
They were adult actresses at the time, and they had their own specific reasons for not wanting to do the show anymore. I'm not judging that. It got tense, and what they don't know, maybe, is I did everything I could to make that show go away. My producer partner at the time, we would call and say, this is not a good situation.
Okay.
So I decided I'm going to do what most showrunners do, which is you're not on the set. There's a director there to shoot it. I'll go up to the writer's room. I'll work on the next script. But because everybody was so used to me caring about every detail of every show so much, for me not to be on the set, yeah, maybe some people thought I got banned.
So it was more of an assumption because...
Wait, so he did? Wait, what the fuck? Bro, this interview is so crazy because he keeps like repeating the question and like rephrasing it. He keeps rephrasing the fucking answer in a way that I think he thinks makes him look better, but he's just basically copping to all of it. See, now, I didn't get banned. There were adult actors that did not want me on stage, so I left voluntarily, despite the fact that I wanted to be there. But I didn't want to be there at all. I mean, I'm the showrunner anyway. You see, I wouldn't call it a ban. I would call it a exile, right? A self-imposed exile. A removal from the set.
This guy's usually here, and now he's not.
I don't know if it was an assumption. I don't know if somebody thought.
Bro, this guy's about to play footsie with him. What's happening right now? The adult actors were previously child actors. When he says adult actors, is he talking about like fucking Ariana Grande or some shit? Like, who's he talking about? Amanda Barnes and Jeanette McCurdy.
I've been waiting 17 years.
10 shocking reveals from Quiet on Set, the dark side of kids TV. Okay, we'll watch this afterwards. What's Platypus up to? Victorious, iCarly, Henry Danger, Drake and Josh, Amanda Show, Keenan and Kel. All produced by Dan. All bangers. Oh my God. Bro, he's still fucking, he's riding, dude. Dude, that's crazy. Wait, you're older than me by like 1 month. Why the fuck are you that into these shows, man?
Thought they were making me look bad by saying I got banned from the set. I have no idea.
Okay.
All I know is I was never banned from the set.
Yep. The darkest part of this series discussed child predators. Now, I want to make sure that we clear a couple of things up.
Okay.
Brian Peck was not hired by you.
No, I did not hire Brian Peck.
This was a Tolan Robbins production?
Yeah. And when Drake and I talked and he told me what had happened, I was more devastated by that than anything that ever happened to me in my career thus far. And I told him, I'm here for you. What do you need? Which Drake mentioned in the show that we watched last night. And next, I heard that he went to court when this guy was being tried, Peck. And when Drake walked in, he saw 50 people sitting on the side of the courtroom supporting Peck. A lot of them pretty famous. Of course, Drake was devastated that that happened. And even more disappointing, 41 of those people wrote letters for Peck, character letters, praising him for who he was and asking for leniency. And they knew that he was guilty. They knew he had confessed to some degree, and they still did this. That's baffling that adults would do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people know this, but Drake's mom, a lovely woman who I stay in contact with this day, she came to me at the time and she said, Dan, I'm not good with words like you are. And
who's James Marsden? James Marsden, Taron Killam, and stars who signed to Brian Peck letters of support devastated Drake Bell, says Dan Schneider. Drake part is so fucking sad, bro. The dad seen it coming and asked his mom to keep him away from Brian Peck, and she didn't want to drive him, so she let him stay at Brian Peck's house for the drive home in the morning. Super fucking sad. Cyclops, man, come on. Cyclops and jury duty? What the fuck? Yo. Wait, why the fuck was this guy like... This weird frog account posted Drake's 30-minute testimony. Green Lives Matter? What the fuck is this account? Did you guys see that? Oh my God. It nutted on me. Wait. What the fuck? It blew up. That was so scary. What the oh my God. Everywhere. It's on the wait, can you see? I wonder. Can you see from over there? It's like it's got a pattern. Look. It's sprayed on me. It's sprayed on the fucking treadmill on the wall. It's all over the fucking ground, dude. What the fuck? You can see it, right? Like right there. Oh my God. Okay, well, my stim toy broke. That's crazy that that happened. Here, let's try to like zoom in on it. It was so loud in my ear too. It was like
I was losing my hair. I had these big
dude, what the fuck? Yo. Yo. That's so much water directly in my ear. It's the whole thing. What part of it bursted, I wonder? Oh, it's from like this part where it says dough. Knee dough. That's just toxic, dude. You need to wash it off. No, it's not. It's probably just water, dude. Fucking calm down. It feels just like water. Bro, look at how much water just squirts out of it, dude. Look at the amount of water that just blew. Like it's so powerful. It's just one direct stream. Okay, we got to play it in slow-mo.
losing my hair. I had these big
I was a little stressed out, yes, from the heavy subject matter that we were covering. And it fucking destroyed me.
hair. I had these big scabs on my head.
No way, y'all made it already? That's great, bro. What the fuck? You guys made it already? What's wrong with you? Wipe it up in the case. It's on the floor. Don't want Kai to lick it up by mistake. Reaction time pretty solid? I don't think so, man. I mean, I guess you guys didn't even see it happen, so.
Hair. I had these big scabs on my head.
You got slimed during the Schneider react? Stop.
I was going to the doctor, and the doctor was asking me. I had these big...
I hit the mic. Okay, but really, I would clean it up ASAP. It's probably not just water. It definitely is just water.
Scabs on my head. I was going...
Kaya didn't even react to it. What a fucking asshole. She's still chilling back there. Anyway. Look at that. Look at my dog, dude. By the law of the land, that's how the gay experience is created. You gay now. How's life as a gay man? You looked so tranquil, too. Fuck, dude. I don't know if this is TOS. I'll let you decide. What? No, it's not TOS. It's so stupid. Bro, you got squirted on. Scudded even. I don't know how the fuck I did. I genuinely don't. I didn't realize you could just like squeeze that shit so hard it pops. Get you a nice cube from the same brand as Sensory Heaven. More dough, like, so probably won't squirt on you. Listen to LB. That shit is corrosive. It's fine. Man, you edged that thing for hours. Can you really blame it? I played with that shit for so long too. It's crazy that I mean, it's understandable that it busted. You know what I mean? But don't worry, I got more stim toys in here. Don't fucking worry about it. Didn't this guy move to Mexico to skirt the age of consent laws as an adult? No. I think he was like texting and sexting a minor. And there was a whole bunch of other charges as well that turns out were not real in that same court case. And no, the girl I think wasn't 17. I think she was 15 at the time. But no, the reason why he's in Mexico is because I've talked about this before. He's big in Latin America. Like it's like weird. I don't know why, but he's like very big as like a musician in Latin America. That's the reason why he was in Mexico. But yeah, she admitted under oath to lying about her age. Like she actually never, like she never told, apparently, I mean, I did a cursory reading on this, so I'm not like trying to defend him, but as far as I understand, no, he didn't flee to Mexico because of this. Oh my God, there's so much fucking misinfo. No, he was already in Mexico. She didn't tell him how old she was, and I think lied about her age too. And then afterwards, there's also like physical contact as well. he had no idea who she was, but she would like go to his concerts, like meet and greets and shit. He did something imperfect victim. No. What I read about it was that he did not know how old she was, and he met her at a meet and greet in one of his concerts, which caused them to get an endangerment of minor charge. It's like a 4th degree felony, and he did not know who the person was at all. Like, he didn't know that this person had like attended the concert. He did plead guilty to felony attempted child endangerment and a misdemeanor charge of disseminating matter harmful to juveniles. Yeah, he did. He found out she was underage, and the text message history during the trial revealed he stopped when he said he did. Yeah. He's a piece of shit for that. No need to die on that hill. No, I'm not dying on any fucking hill. I have no interest in like defending his actions at all. Also, this is not an excuse for what the other situation is, but what happened to him is still very important, very significant. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna fucking be here and be like, yeah, he's a bad guy, as though I'm like defending Dan Schneider or some shit. You know what I mean? But I do think that there's a lot of I do think that there's like some misinformation about his court case out there. Like, people think he like fled to Mexico or something, like evaded the authorities or some shit. Like, all that stuff is not real. He was already in Latin America. He was in Mexico because he's like popular there. And he didn't change his name to like Drake Campana to hide his identity or some shit. Like, that was all of that stuff is just like all of that stuff is. Wait, Platypus 91 unfollowed? No shit. No shot. Really? No. Oh, he didn't? Okay. Fuck, I got so sad. I wanted to hear more from him about why he still thinks Dan Schneider is good. Not legal legislation at all, but I've always felt appropriate punishment and chemical castration for these crimes. No. Chemical castration is not an appropriate punishment for these crimes, because the actual goal of the criminal justice system is supposed to be to make sure that that person does not become a repeat offender. And as we know from Harvey Weinstein, who had a mangled penis due to, I think, gangrene or something, Harvey Weinstein was still a rapist, a mass rapist, and used other means, because rape is not about deriving sexual satisfaction. It's about power. Or rather, it's about getting sexual satisfaction from power, and not necessarily through like directly using your penis. You can also rape someone with your digits, fingers, or even other objects, as a matter of fact. So the idea that like chemical castration is a valid punishment is not great. It's completely ridiculous. And as a matter of fact, chemical castration has been used in the past to the likes of Alan Turing, for example, for the crime of homosexuality. That's right. For those of you who didn't know, despite the fact that did it make him not gay? No, it made him kill himself. No, Alan Turing was not a predator. Yes, as I always say, justice is about justice. It's not about vengeance. Yeah. Alan Turing, incredibly important figure in defeating the Nazis, was then murdered by the British government. Basically, the father of computer science. Yeah. What? Maybe this is a reactionary take, but immediately dismissing chemical castration isn't a great take. The rationale would be to prevent the freak from impregnating future victims. There's an argument to be made that there's a genetic component to pedophilia. Okay, that is definitely a reactionary take. You are describing eugenics. That's crazy. Oh my God. That is an insane thing to just say casually. That is not correct. Prevent the freak from impregnating future victims is also, I don't even know what to say. How do you rehabilitate a pedophile? I don't think there is enough research in this field. Like, there is a couple different things. I mean, there are some, but as far as I know, there aren't great ways at this stage. It's a taboo topic for understandable reasons. But beyond that, it's like there's a couple things I talk about when I talk about criminal justice reform. Okay? There's a couple aspects of criminal justice reform that that still have a hard time dealing with, like serial killers or antisocial personality disordered individuals who are doing violent crimes due to a like medical lack of empathy, I guess. And it is very difficult to figure out exact, like currently as it stands, there isn't any exact science on how to rehabilitate people like that. This should not stop us from trying to rehabilitate people regardless. I can share a study showing A, no biomarkers for pedophilia, B, chemical castration has no significant effect, and C, CBT and rehab is most effective. CBT? What the fuck is CBT? Cock and ball torture? Oh, cognitive behavioral therapy. Jesus Christ. Pedophilia is considered a mental disorder, and there's some research on genetic cause, but it's not conclusive whatsoever and definitely not enough for chemical castration. The question is, do you think the criminal justice system is a tool that can consistently and accurately determine when to castrate someone or even jail someone? No. The answer is no. That is the reason why you also should not advocate for a death penalty either. Yeah. Even if there is a genetic component, environmentally usually affects how genes are expressed, especially behavioral. Source, gonna get my genetics degree next month. Oh. Would it be moral to advocate for forced vasectomies? No, because that doesn't do anything, guys. A vasectomy doesn't actually fucking take away your sex drive. Like, I don't understand why you guys are so obsessed with like somehow fucking trying to castrate people. Like, what the fuck? It doesn't stop sexual assault at all. And sexual assault in general is not a matter of like someone being really horny. Like, that's not how sexual assault works. No, I'm not hating you. I'm just simply trying to explain something very important. Okay? People don't understand this, and it's a very common misconception. People think you get like unimaginably horny and then you do a rape. That's not how it works at all. Okay? It's mostly about like dominating another person, humiliating another person, like harming them. It can be a multitude of different things, but it certainly is not about like, you can derive sexual satisfaction from doing those things, but ultimately it's not like the way you understand sex. You're not like, oh my God, I am so horny. Like, that's not how this works. I don't know how to describe it other than that. I'm sure you know a lot of this audience were from the RadFem pipeline. Yeah. How are you entertaining literal eugenics? I am not. I am actually personally, legitimately fucking saying that it... Open your goddamn ears. I'm not the one who... Am I the only one who got fucking blasted in the ears, but I can still hear clearly? I have straight up said the exact opposite of that. I have taken the careful steps to describe exactly why that is not a solution at all. That doesn't even stop the offender from offending again. This isn't even a, oh, I like pancakes, so you hate waffles moment. This is me being like, no, I actually fucking love pancakes. And you're in the chat being like, why do you hate pancakes? I'm probably what you consider RadFem as I'm anti-porn, but I'm genuinely concerned people are seriously suggesting torture and mutilation casually. Yeah. I also made the exact same point about the death penalty as well. Anyway. You don't even realize that you and Dan have one thing in common. You entertain children for a living. Brother, you are literally older than me. Self-admitted. Also, you're not even a child and you are entertained. People in Hollywood love writing letters, okay? They fucking love writing letters on all of the worst shit. Now, Biomart had a hot take on this, and I think it's not a hot take. I think it's a correct take, which is that writing letters in support of the perpetrator should generally not be discouraged, especially because of how torturous and awful our prison structure is. So overall, on principle, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that, you know, Hollywood seems to write a lot of letters about routine sex abusers and you know, like the Danny Masterson case with Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. Did anyone mention that another writer for Nickelodeon, Joseph Smith, was mentioned in this documentary by name? Was on How to Catch a Predator. I saw, I mean, they were misinformed. How can you be misinformed? How can you be misinformed about like a 15-year-old's capability of being tempting? No, you're just fucking saying that because you feel like an asshole now because the letters were released. What the fuck? If they weren't told it was a 15-year-old? Brother, you're victim blaming in a rape case. The fuck do you mean? Okay, then you're victim blaming in an adult rape case. Is that better? Like she wrote, the child was asking for it. I mean, it's a child rape case, so it's pretty highly unlikely that they didn't know. Brian is both a good person and a dear friend. He's gifted at his job. When I heard that Brian was arrested, I was shocked and saddened. While I cannot fully comprehend the charges against him, it is not in Brian's character to do anything unlawful or harmful to another person. I've never known Brian to engage in the type of illegal activity with which he's being charged. So they knew what he was being charged with, and can only believe that there must have been some extreme situation or temptation exerted upon him to influence his actions. That's the letter. She knew what the charges were. Brian has talked to me about what happened and taken responsibility for his actions. It took courage to talk with me about his transgression, and I have doubt in my mind. I have no doubt in my mind that he will take whatever steps necessary to make sure that this never happens again. I've been an actress for 35 years, although the past 5 years I have worked almost exclusively as a director. In those years, I have worked with hundreds of people, and I can say without hesitation that Brian is one of the most honest and trustworthy people I've ever met. I would hire him today to work with children and young adults in my projects because I know he's excellent at his job. He cares about the people he works with, and most importantly, he can be trusted. Yo, that's crazy. One of the people who wrote a letter spoke recently and said that they knew it was sex with a minor. He said that Brian implied it was someone being 17 and lying, but they knew it was a minor who was assaulted by a grown man. How did he farm this much clout? Dude, he worked in the industry for years and years and years, bro. He worked for fucking... He got worse than his own abuser and did so much less. Oh, no. He's not saying Drake did worse than his abuser. He's saying Drake got a worse sentence. Not really, though. He only got 2 years probation. So technically, he didn't do any prison time. He didn't get a worse sentence than his abuser. But I think the impact on his life was obviously worse because the fucking dude was able to like go back to work. I mean, there's still people in here that like think that he like raped a minor and then escaped to Mexico or some shit. Whereas the other dude very clearly got out of prison after a 16-month stint and went back and got hired by Disney. Wait, didn't he? No. No, he... Where is it? Here, I'll pull up his sentencing and shit. Okay, where is it? Drake Bella just reckless and irresponsible text the minor. Thursday, 35-year-old alum posted a video to Instagram telling his fans all over his videos and an explanation. He refuted the reports that circulated on social media and some media outlets that he changed his name to Drake Campana and taken up residence in Mexico. Most of the news you heard is entirely false and wrong. I feel that you deserve an explanation. I know this moved very quickly for you. It's been a 3-year thorough investigation into every false claim that has been made, and it's It's not me telling you that the claims are false, but the state of Ohio has proven the claims to be false. If these claims were remotely true, my situation would be very different. I would not be here at home with my wife and son. But that being said, I'm not perfect and I make mistakes. Bell said he responded to a fan without knowing their age, and when he learned their age, he ceased communication with the person. The individual continued to come to my shows and pay for meet and greets, all while I was unaware that this person was the same person I was communicating with online, and that's what I pled guilty to. It was reckless and irresponsible text messages. I want to make that clear. There were no sexual images, nothing physical between me and this individual. Bell noted that the interactions took place over text and that he wasn't charged with doing anything physical or disseminating any images. When I was presented with a plea deal because of the messages, I felt this was the best way to get this over with quickly. Bell pleaded guilty to attempted child endangerment, a fourth-degree felony, and disseminating matter harmful to juveniles, a first-degree misdemeanor. He had been taken into custody by Cleveland police, to which he initially pleaded not guilty. Today, I accept this plea because my conduct was wrong. I'm sorry that the victim was harmed in any way. That was obviously not my intention. I've taken this matter very, very seriously. And again, I want to apologize to her and anyone who have been affected by my actions. At the time of Bell's arrest, the Cuyahoga prosecutor's office had stated that the then 15-year-old girl filed a report with Toronto police in October 2018. Stemming from an alleged 2017 incident in a Cleveland nightclub involving herself and the star. According to the prosecutor's office, an investigation showed that Bell had sent inappropriate social media messages in the months preceding the concert, which followed a relationship that had been established several years prior between the two individuals. During the sentencing hearing, the now 19-year-old woman read a victim impact statement accusing Bell of being a pedophile, grooming her, and sexually abusing her. She also said Bell had caused her indescribable pain. In a July 12th statement, Bell's attorney said today's plea and sentence reflect conduct for which Mr. Bell did accept responsibility. The victim's allegations that went beyond that, which all parties agreed not only lack supporting evidence, but are contradicted by the facts learned through extensive investigation. As the court made clear, this plea was never about sexual misconduct or sexual relations with any person, let alone a minor. Drake's Bell victim accused him of grooming sexual assault during hearing. Read her statement. Yeah, this is her statement, but like her statement, as far as I understand it, is contradicted by an extensive investigation conducted and to be proven false. At least parts of it. He definitely did do some fucked up shit, in my opinion, as far as texting fans, regardless of or social media messaging fans, regardless of what whether he knew their ages or not, especially when they were fucking like 13, 14, 15. So the statement is false by being investigated? No, this is an impact statement. There was an investigation conducted into it. Bell issued his own brief statement via Zoom. Tyler Sinclair, the public information officer of the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office, told People Monday that the Cleveland Police Department and his office did an extensive investigation into this matter. Numerous factors, including the strength of the evidence, were weighed during our plea discussions with defense counsel. The victim was consulted throughout this process and approved the final outcome. The sentencing was preceded by the victim's impact statement, during which she alleged that Bell groomed her from age 12 before sexually assaulting her when she was 15. I started off as a fan of him. I was definitely one of his biggest fans. Everyone knew me as a child, knew that he was a hero to me. Yeah, I don't think that they actually. When I was 15, I noticed a huge shift regarding his treatment and attitude towards me. When I was younger, he was sweet and actually wanted to talk about my life. But at 15, he started sending me messages about how, quote, hot I was. Summer 2017, I messaged him telling him that I was going to see him in a concert in the following months. He replied by telling me that he couldn't wait to see me. He also asked me, quote, how old are you now? I told him 15. He then told me to, quote, hurry up, don't smile at me. Not too long after that, his messages to me became blatantly sexual. This eventually led to many months of inappropriate messages and photos being exchanged. If there were inappropriate photos being exchanged in this text conversation, this is the part, these are the parts that the court found to be not true. If these parts of the testimony were actually correct and found to be true, the charges would be very different than, the charges would be different. It would be solicitation of child sexual abuse material, solicitation of a minor, child endangerment, not an attempt at child endangerment. That's not true. You're pissing me off. That's not how plea deals work. Yes, you get plea deals on what you can actually charge people with. You oftentimes will be able to get a guaranteed, you want to get a guaranteed charge. However, if there is photographic evidence on correspondences, it's the easiest fucking charge to stick of all time. Like, physical evidence is something that you can't really cast aside. It's not like physical evidence of any other sort either. It's not something you can delete. You can literally get it from you can directly subpoena the social media platforms. Like the other dude in the case with Drake Bell, the other dude in the case where Drake Bell is the victim still got charged with some pretty heinous shit. Obviously, his sentencing was like incredibly low, which is shocking. And I don't know what the California law is. I'm not saying that Drake Bell was innocent, by the way. I hope that people didn't misunderstand what I was saying. But like, okay, she was lying, but how the fuck do you know? No, you're talking to was real. No, dude, I'm telling you, he's not innocent at all. This is not a good thing that he did. This is a very bad thing that he did. I don't know how else to fucking describe it under, like, you guys are yelling at me over things that I'm not saying. Like, there is no world in which you as a celebrity text a fucking 12-year-old and that shit's fine. Like, no, it is understandable that he was charged. I mean, yeah, he pled guilty to attempting to endanger a minor. As far as people saying like the only time that there's any sort of investigation is if someone doesn't plead guilty is also not correct. I know that there's some paralegals and some law students in the chat, but of course there's an investigation that leads up to the court case. Like, how do you not know if someone is 12 or 15? Ridiculous. I think that's just him. I think that's just him saving his ass. They didn't say investigation. I said fact finding, which is a process done within court. Hasan, you said that the court found the victims to be uncredible, which is simply not true, as to no fact finding was done on the. Oh, okay. My bad. I meant investigations that preceded or investigations that came before the court case, not the court. Especially considering that there's so much obvious evidence that you can, find by going to the social media platforms and requesting the private DMs. I think he was gross and did something illegal and tried to endanger a minor. And that's what he got charged with. Anyway, there was more I wanted to watch on the Schneider situation. Let's finish. Here. Drake Bell charges with attempted child endangerment. Prosecutor said that Mr. Bell engaged in a conversation with a 15-year-old girl that was at times sexual in nature. An investigation by the Cleveland Police Department also revealed that Mr. Bell had sent the girl inappropriate social media messages in the months before the show, the prosecutor said. According to the prosecutors, Mr. Bell violated his duty of care at the concert and in doing so created a risk of harm to the victim. A spokesman for the prosecutor's office, Tyler Sinclair, did not say why Mr. Bell had only now just been indicted. In a brief statement on Friday, Ian N. Friedman, a lawyer representing Mr. Bell, declined to address the specific questions. The felony child endangerment charge carries a sentence of up to 18 months in prison. Wait, there's not more information in this article. Feeling torn about this whole ordeal as a bell end and a Schneider head. Not everything is saved forever. Yes, everything is saved forever. What the fuck are you talking about? Dude. Brother, sister. Let me tell you something. Everything that you write online is saved forever, okay? And they have multiple different avenues of getting that information. That's crazy. It absolutely is. The conflicting shit that I saw about it, the conflicting stuff that I saw about it was that she alleged there to be sexual assault at that specific concert, and her aunt said that there wasn't. But I don't know. Like, the victim's aunt said that that did not happen, who she was with at the time. Snapchat? You think Snapchat data gets deleted? The fuck? No, man. Okay. Sentence was handed down after a lengthy statement from Bell's victim, who appeared in court via video conference. CNN does not typically identify victims of sex crimes. The woman, now 19, says she was 15 at the time. She exchanged texts of a sexual nature with Bell, whom she had met through her aunt at the age of 12. He was a hero to me, she said. The woman also said in her statement that Bell had sexually assaulted her on 2 occasions, allegations he denied through his attorney. It was such a huge part of my childhood and attorney ruined my life. Bell's attorney, Ian Friedman, acknowledged that the pair engaged in text messages of a sexual nature. His conduct was not correct. It was proper. It was not proper, Friedman said, but I have to be very clear that what the victim is saying have not occurred here. Not only am I saying it, that it did not happen, not only would Mr. Bell say that it did not happen, but the evidence in this case would suggest that it did not happen. Now, that's lawyer speak is what you would say. However, as far as I understand, it's not just simply lawyer speak. A lengthy investigation that came before the guilty plea and the actual court case, the actual trial, showed it to not be true. Or at least there wasn't enough evidence to suggest that it was true. That's a better way to put it. We all know that this prosecutor's office would pursue child sex charges and go to great lengths and aggressively as they should, and I've seen it many times. They felt that it was a provable cause. I'm sure we would not be taking it. Oh, God, I hate that it's like they only went to the fucking lawyer. The media never fucking actually does a good job with this shit, because this is all just his lawyer. Of course his lawyer is going to say this. I accept this plea because my conduct was wrong. During his brief statement, his identified victim could be seen crying. Bell's probation could be transferred to California where he resides. Yeah, of course the lawyer is going to fucking frame it like that. This shit is so annoying. Like journalism, man, please do a little bit of it. It would be cool. Like, go to the fucking, yeah. Like, I hate this article so much. I hate all of these articles like this. Is basically like a PR release. Look at how much look at how much the person who did the criminal acts and their defense attorney is being fucking featured in this article. Yeah, no shit, dude. Of course he's gonna come across like this. It's not journalism at all. I hate this shit. I wish they would have at least like asked the prosecutors, what's happening here? So read her actual statement or watch one of her interviews. Stop being dense. You're being really dense and I'm disappointed. I'm not being dense. I want the fucking prosecutors to talk about the lengthy investigation that they conducted. I know what the victim said. The third party, like the criminal justice, the component that's missing from this is not the victim testimony. The actual part of this that is annoying to me is that the actual annoying part of this is not the victim testimony. The annoying part of this is the fact that there's no investigation or any discovery that led the prosecutor's office to led the prosecutors to come up with the charges that they came up with. You really can't even take the mildest criticism? Me? What did I say? What am I not taking the mildest criticism currently? This person is saying I'm fucking like belittling a victim, that I'm like, they're implying that I'm fucking a defender of rape of minors. And I'm literally not banning them. And instead saying that, one, letting them fucking thrive in the chat, and while also simultaneously criticizing the way that the media is covering the fucking story, because I don't think that it does any justice to the victim whatsoever. And you fucking dumb fucks in the chat turn around and go, dude, you can't take the mildest criticism. Also, don't ban that guy either. Mods. That chowder that got clapped is being calling you a misogynist as well. They were being annoying. It doesn't matter. I'm sure there's more information. Why y'all doing my boy Dan like this? Is your boy? No, dude. What the fuck? Their chatters are pretending that they're Dan Schneider fans. Drake Bell on why he pled guilty. Bro, I don't want to watch a 9-minute fucking video. A song says I would rather read more details. Anyway, I just want to let the record show that I don't think that Drake Bell is a good person either. But you don't have to be a good person to be a victim of sexual abuse as a child. Doesn't matter. Bro, if it's Nido, it's non-toxic malt water mixture. It was Nido. Thank you. Can we end it on a high note and do some reacts? Oh no, I wanted to finish the Dan Schneider cut.
Would you help me with my speech for the judge?
That's crazy that I paused it right before that.
If people know this, but Drake's mom, a lovely woman who I stay in contact with this day, she came to me at the time and she said, Dan, I'm not good with words like you are. And would you help me with my speech for the judge? And I said, of course. And I did.
We still don't know how Dan immediately suspected that Drake Bell was the victim in the fucking court case against Brian Peck. Like that, I thought was going to be revealed in the documentary. It was not revealed in the documentary at all. And as a matter of fact, that makes it way more fucking suspicious. Drake said it in the video. No, Drake said that. No, Drake said he called me and said that he would recognize that I was spending a lot of time with him. He didn't say that I told him, and that's why he called me. Still suspicious, though. He literally said he called me and asked me if it was him or if I was the victim. And then Drake admitted that it was Dan. Dan here is talking about how he had a conversation with his mom.
And he ended up going to prison and serving his time. And yeah, that was probably the darkest part of my career. And here's the kicker that I really don't get. After he got out of prison and was, to my knowledge, a registered sex offender, he was hired on a Disney Channel show. I don't understand that.
Damn, he's throwing Disney under the bus. Bro, you are not getting hired by Disney. Let me tell you something.
I don't understand.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing that, man. Are you okay? You want to take a minute?
Yeah, I'm all right. Let's keep going.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we really unpacked some important things. We set the record straight on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Before I let you get out of here, I appreciate the vulnerability that you use in knowing that there's definitely things that you...
Damn, this guy's really holding his feet to the fire, dude. Straight up.
Would have and should have done differently.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that we haven't discussed? Anything that if you could go back and navigate the journey differently, what would that look like?
Yeah, there's definitely things that I would do differently.
Damn, he stopped crying real quick.
One
like
that I think would be really, really important is when you're hiring young actors, minors, to work in television, I would suggest that we have a licensed therapist there to oversee that process for the specific reason of making sure that those kids really wanted to do this job, that they really wanted to be on television.
Yeah.
Maybe they should even be informed about what that means. What's it gonna mean if you're famous? What's that gonna mean on social media? What's it gonna mean within your family? Right. Let them find out. And then that way, if a kid doesn't want to be on a TV show, they can opt out.
Yeah.
That psychologist, that therapist could come to us and say, this kid doesn't want to do it, or their parents aren't understanding of what's going to come. And then we could avoid the mistake of ever putting a kid in a TV show that didn't want to be there. And additionally, the main thing that I would change is how I treat people and everyone. I definitely at times didn't give people the best of me. I didn't show enough patience. I could be cocky and definitely overambitious, and sometimes just straight up rude and obnoxious, and I am so sorry that I ever was. And all right, when I watched the show, I could see the hurt in some people's eyes, and it made me feel awful and regretful and sorry. I wish I could go back, especially to those earlier years of my career, and bring the growth and the experience that I have now and just do a better job and never ever feel like it was okay to be an asshole to anyone ever. Look,
Do I think
wanted
his
to
legal
make-
team approved this? Absolutely. Are you out of your fucking mind? It's in his house. It's on his YouTube page. Yeah, they 100%. So is consensus that Dan is just weird, or are there credible allegations of something further? I seriously don't see the problem with Dan. I don't know what glasses you guys have on besides cancel boner. Dude, come on. Like, the only reason why Dan looks normal in comparison is because the people in his orbit literally went to fucking prison for, like, actually raping children. Okay? Like, it is ridiculous, brother. You're talking about a dude who, like, was straight up making kids do a bunch of foot shit, constantly tweeting about fucking feet. Like, if this was Quentin Tarantino, it's a little bit different because that's adult feet, okay? But when we're talking about, like, deriving sexual satisfaction off of fucking children's feet, that is an insane thing to consider. What has happened to the people in your orbit? Great question. Okay, great question. I have never done anything that is even remotely similar to motherfuckers that have appeared on a stream one time. I didn't hire them. Okay. I didn't hire them. I didn't work with them for fucking years. Ridiculous to be like, well, you know what this is akin to? In order to defend our boy Dan Schneider, okay, as a Schneider writer, in order to defend Dan Schneider, you are now making it seem like some shit that, like, a Twitch streamer did is somehow in the same vein, okay? In the same vein as, like, you know, me being culpable for it, okay? It's like throwing, it's like saying that, like, it's like saying that, like, anyone in Hollywood that also did, like, predation of children, like Roman Polanski. It's like comparing Roman Polanski to Dan Schneider. Well, Roman Polanski did something, and that's precisely why Dan Schneider is guilty, is ridiculous. That's not what I'm doing at all. Okay? My connection to all of these fucking Twitch streamers that you're pointing to, or any streamer, as a matter of fact, is literally infinitely, like, is as closely associated with fucking Dan Schneider and what's his face? Brian Peck. Or, I mean, Dan Schneider as Roman Polanski. I do appreciate you coming in again, though. This chatter. Yeah. Platypus conveniently left when we watched the weird dick pickles in the glory hole shit. Yeah. Only to come back when we're watching Dan Schneider. He's just that big of a ride or die. A Schneider rider. He did. He was like, I don't care about this Drake Bell stuff. I'm back. I'm back now because we're talking about my main man Schneider. Can the chatter defend his classic joke from Dan? What the fuck? A funny video of the worthless Jamie Lynn Spears? What the fuck? In the doc, they literally said that people on the set called it a cum shot. Why are they letting this man be interviewed? By the way, what do you mean? He's fucking rich. He's powerful. He's not in any legal trouble yet. And that's it. He's basically interviewing himself too. Yeah. He didn't do anything wrong. That's why he's doing a very fucking weird interview on his own channel and can't help himself from exuding pedophile vapors and looking like if Weinstein was born into a Weinstein-shaped bread pan. Jesus Christ. Yeah. That's why he hired his former employee to come and interview him and hold his feet to the fire. I noticed Dan has a free South Africa poster. Maybe he's based. Yeah. Well, considering that this poster's from a time when South Africa was freed, I think. Actually, I don't know. But I don't know exactly when the poster was posted. Yeah, it's Keith Haring. Fetterman says he would have liked to have heard from Netanyahu today. He also asked if he could sit in during the GOP lunch where Netanyahu spoke via video. What is this man doing? What is he saying? I will bet anyone anything that Dan has never done anything illegal. Bro, do you know him? I feel like you're like a relative or something if you're not him. That's pretty crazy, man. I don't think he's a good dude. Like, you literally defended him with the, or did you, was it this chatter that defended the fucking two writers for the price of one shit? Platypus 91 and I were on the same Bernie bus in 2020. He was cool then. I don't know about now, though. Wait, how the fuck do you remember? Dude, old heads in the chat are going crazy right now. What did you guys talk about being HasanAbi heads in 2020? What the fuck? I need this chatter. I need you, chatter, to explain to me what you think is normal about getting child actors in a room to have them show their feeties to Danzy Wanzy, okay? Like, what do you think was going on? Why do you think you wanted to see their little toesies? Because you said it was content. That's what the kids thought. No, we're talking about fucking hiring child actors, and in the process of hiring child actors, having them go into a room with Dan to show their feet. I don't even agree with you on the kids thought the foot stuff was funny. It's like weird, but There are people in their 30s who watch these Nickelodeon shows still faithfully. They've been posting online a stance for this shit for 2 decades now. From the Zanga and Live Journal days until now. If I walked into a room and my dad was watching Zach and Cody, I would put my foot down, pun intended. Dan didn't foot molest anyone. Yeah, he just got his staffers to give him massages on set. You're trying to squeeze content out of me, but I'm spent too. I'm not trying to squeeze content out of you. I'm just trying to understand your mind. It is fascinating. I also think that you might be Dan Schneider still. Even though it does seem like some chatters have met you, so maybe you aren't Dan Schneider. Unless the chatters also met Dan Schneider on the Bernie bus. Not Dan, he's Asian. Okay, so I guess we're ruling out that he's Dan Schneider. Maybe the adopted son of Dan Schneider? I don't know. Jeanette McCurdy. It's simple. The foot stuff has been highly criticized by the perverted minds of adults. The production team thought it was perfectly good content for kids. That's it. Yeah. And a chatter in the chat also mentioned Jeanette McCurdy's book, where she details Dan Schneider giving her alcohol as a minor and also giving her massages. But I assume you have some smoke for that too. But I was also talking about auditions. Why does Dan Schneider have to see the feetsies of the children during auditions? Why does Dan Schneider have pool parties for the kids? But also beyond that, why is Dan Schneider giving alcohol to children? Why is Dan Schneider giving back rubs to children? Why is Dan Schneider giving auditions to children where he sees their feeties? Like, that's a big component of the audition. Why is Dan Schneider then turning around and fucking tweeting about how he loves the sweeties with the feeties? Okay? And like routinely tweeting about the feet, talking to like a bunch of fucking children online about other feet and toes of Jeanette McCurdy and many others. I'm guessing the auditions is because their feet is going to be shown on television. No, dude, what? That's not how that works, man. What the fuck? Bro. Dude would believe backroom casting couch is a real situation if presented with the opportunity, if Dan Schneider was doing it. What do you mean? There's no world in which your feet are important for you being fucking, especially if it's comical in nature. Like, is he looking for funny feet? Is that what you think is happening in the auditions? Please investigate this a little bit further, and you will come to the recognition that you are a little wrong. Their feet were in the script, of course, is relevant. That is insane, dude. No. Like, you're... Unless someone is being hired specifically to be the foot model, no, it is fucking not relevant. That's crazy. Especially because he got to see so many feet of the people that he didn't even fucking hire. I can't tell if you're trolling. Please tell me you're trolling. This has got to be a bit. There's no one. I don't think I've ever. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen. Do you think he should have hired everyone who showed feet? No, that's not what I think. What I think is he should stop being fucking creepy, go back in a time machine, stop being creepy, and stop asking minors to show feet. That's what I think. Like, why are feet? You're like, no, feet have to be shown. That's crazy. How did you arrive at this position? That is not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is pretty much the opposite of that, actually. The opposite suggestion. I don't know why. Under other circumstances, I'd be livid. But for some weird reason, this chatter is fucking cracking me up. Because I guess because of the circumstances, like because of what he's defending and how he's defending it, it's so funny to me. I don't think feet had to be shown. They think feet had to be shown. It's fine to disagree, but you weren't hired by Nick. What the fuck? Yeah. Someone in the chat said, bitch on a first name basis with Nickelodeon. Yeah, dog, you don't know what it's like. You don't know Nick like that. Nick at night especially. Oh. Dude, this is... That's awesome, man. Thank you. He's lasered in. Chatter is so locked in on the feetsies, dude. He's just... This is an unshakable position for him. I'm losing my mind. That's right, dude. You don't know what it's like, man. Oh. I don't even understand what I'm wrong about. Bro, you... I don't think I'll ever be able to explain it to you. I think the fundamental disagreement we have is that I don't know. I don't feel like you think Dan Schneider did anything wrong. Like, whether it be the weird procurement of like fetish content specifically for minors. Like, that's... Or anything beyond it. You're like, oh, he apologized for giving alcohol to Jenna McCurdy and massaging her. You're like, none of this spells something nefarious. Something nefarious is afoot, is what normal people would say. You, on the other hand, are like, no, that's... He fucking... Why would you say that? Yeah, all right. On that note, I gotta go to sleep. I'm fucking... It's not even 8, and I'm so tired. There's our disagreement. It wasn't fetish content. You perceived it... Oh, I'm perverted because I perceived it as fetish content because of my perversions. I'm the pervert for saying Dan Schneider has no business having a shit ton of children in a private room, making them show their feet. I'm the pervert for saying that's fucked up, Dan. Don't do that. Are pigtails inappropriate? What? No, what the fuck? What do you mean a pigtail? What is a pig? Am I misunderstanding this? What? Oh. They're about to move the goalposts. I know, but like I don't even understand what the fuck pigtails are. Pigtails are the hairstyles like two ponytails. There's a difference between seeing someone in public in scandals and demanding in private someone show you their feet for X. I guess the argument he's trying to make is that like, well, you don't find it sexual, but other people do, so they banned it. I'm implying that anyone and everyone can make something sexual when it's not. Because other people find it to be a fetish. That's an incel pro lolly talking point. Lollies are drawn with pigtails, so a lot of weirdos see it as a sexual thing. Yeah, no, I get it. The argument he's trying to make is that I'm making the I don't even know what a fucking pigtail is. I feel like I don't think I've ever seen an adult woman in pigtails. I feel like that'd be weird. Yes, people retroactively found dance content sexual when initially it wasn't. Bro, we just showed you like something that they called a cum shot on stage of Jamie Lynn Pierce getting fucking blasted in the face. They called it a cum shot. Like the pickle man, Brian Peck, a fucking pedophile, literally. Risa Teresa, she had pigtails? Okay, I don't know if I know what a fucking pigtail is. I don't fully understand it. Anyway, like the pickle glory hole bit to Ray Romano. Like that, you don't think that was like, oh, this is it? You can criticize the cum shot. I was talking about the feet content. Oh, he's just lasered it on the feet. My boy is like, no, just the feet. I'm here to defend feet and feet only, okay? Okay, got it. So all of the stuff that Dan Schneider did, right? All of that stuff is irrelevant, but pigtails are relevant to this conversation because you think it's a good analog of something that is not inherently sexual that has been sexualized. Got it. He's 10 toes down for Dan. I don't even think he's 10 toes down for Dan. I think he's 10 toes down for Dan's toes or his toe stuff. That's what I'm beginning to realize. He's one of the smart foot fetishists who's like, bro, it's not a fetish. Like, chill out. Pff, whatever. Feet is not inherently sexual. Is he's like cranking hot loads to it because like I think a lot of foot fetishists realize that like they gave the game away. Feet didn't used to be a thing that was like censored, right? But then the foot fetish guys were so fucking horny for it that like basically everyone got smart to it and we're like, I'm not showing fucking feet. You know what I mean? So this guy's trying to reclaim the space that like feet are being sexualized by weird perverts. Please keep showing us the feet for free. And he will ride or die and defend those who have shown the feet for others. That's what I'm suspecting is happening here.